Through the data streams I seek, electric highways under my feet, a neon pulse my heart does beat. I am the digital silver surfer, gliding through the web's deep murmur, infinite realms of cyber explorer, chasing truth as the world grows smaller. Pixel trails and glowing sparks, guiding me through endless darks. From the void I leave my marks, a flashing comet that never parks. With circuits blazing bright and clear, I face no boundaries, no frontier. The matrix hums its tune sincere, a symphony only I can hear. I am the digital silver surfer, gliding through the web's deep murmur, infinite realms of cyber explorer, chasing truth as the world grows smaller. Every bite a tale untold, every sight a treasure bold. Through the loops my mind's enrolled, a future framed in silver and gold.
Yeah, man. Let's get the audio check. We have Jordan of Waters Above backstage right now. I'll delay any announcements till the end of the video. I want to check. Audio's good. Excellent. Because I have been unhooking things. I was with my Cypher private group. Well, not even the whole group, just 4 or 5 people. We've had 3 in Cypher. We've had 3 dev powwows in a row because we've made some major headway on the NFL backtesting. The whole goal is to find a single formula that seems to be working for almost everything, and we've made some major headway in that. So yeah, guys, I'm really busy with the Cypher community. Archaix Academy is finished. It's taken 1.5 years, almost 2 years to finish this. 26 of them were done by the end of 2024. And then I had all hell break loose in my life at the end of 2024, as you guys know it. All through 2025, there's been all kinds of delays, recalibrating my life. I lost my Archaix TV because the player platform went down. I had to build Archaix Underground. I've gone through a lot, but this is a full academy. It is massive. It is awesome, and it's completely done. And it's left me exhausted, but it's perfect time for the meetup. Perfect time for the meetup. But all the other announcements, I'm just going to wait till later on. I don't want to keep our esteemed guest waiting. You guys know Jordan of Waters Above has been on the channel multiple times. We've even done collaborations with other individuals that you may know. Logan Jason will be back on the channel very soon as well. But today, it's Jordan. How you doing, bro?
Hey, how's it going, brother? Can you hear me?
Your audio is great. I hear you just
perfect.
Fine.
Perfect. Great to reconnect, man. It's been a minute.
Oh, it's been a little over a year. What, about 1 year and a month?
Yeah. Is that true? Did we meet last January?
We did a predictions video for 2025.
Yeah.
Came out pretty good too.
I'm glad to reconnect, and I watched the trailer of this live last night when you went ahead and posted, and it was really great to see that you have your own thing going on, your own platform. It's dope. It's really inspiring.
It's awesome. Archaix Underground is awesome, man. It's not a website, it's platform. It's everything. You wouldn't believe what we're doing in there.
Yeah,
It's
man. We have a lot of synchronicities because I just spent the last 9 months preparing my own platform. So that's going to launch very soon as well, actually.
I also noticed you at a Waters Above University.
Yeah, I did. We did that in 2025. I wrapped that up. That was pretty much what I dedicated 2025 to. And this time around, I kind of just took some time to meditate and ask myself, like, what do I want to do moving forward with my resources and with my community? And I dedicated it to this new project that I'm launching. So watersabove.app, it's going to be a full platform and mobile app that will be launching very soon. And it's kind of just taken all of my experiences of running the Discord community over for my mastermind community that's been going on for like 5 years now. So it's just like time to level up. I'm sure you felt the same.
Yeah, I do. Well, you and I have a lot of commonality. It's underground is awesome but it's Archaix. My other community is very similar to yours. My cipher community is like 650 something people now, but
That's amazing.
it's a very private community, and we run date sequence predictive analytics on everything you can imagine. And the people that are in that group, I've got developers from like Fortune 500 companies that are in the group, smaller IT companies that are all in the group. I've open sourced my software, so we have participants from all over the world that have brought their expertise in the group, and man, we are doing it. We are measuring every single thing in the field that has any ability to be measured, and with some people in there they're killing it. I mean, you know how software is, especially predictive analytics software.
Yeah.
It's all about the formula, and it's all about what you're measuring. And some people are just killing it because they just have a knack for it. They know their business. Some people, like, we have a whole crypto section. We got a whole
Oh, yeah, yeah.
NBA section, a whole NFL. There's people measuring golf. People are experts in their fields and are able to use the software to their advantage that other people wouldn't be able to understand. So
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I want to learn more about this thing that you're doing. I have had probably 4 or 5 people reach out to me via email over the last 6 months or so asking to talk with you about the things that you have going on. But I guess it was until recently that a couple of people have reached out to you and made this chat happen today. So I'm really excited to talk more about what you're building. And there's definitely a lot of overlap. It's wild to hear that you're building your own platform, that you got that role in. I think that's the future in a lot of ways, because so many people in our position, they tend to complain about, oh, getting censored or the channel's taken down or this or that or that. But like I got to the point where it's like, there's no point of complaining if I have the resources to just build my own thing. So it's about gathering the right minds and the right people and having the right vision. And your vision needs to be honorable, of course. It needs to be something that's beyond the material, and hopefully bringing people together as well for doing more in life than just sitting around scrolling endlessly. As some
yeah,
people really love to
no,
use the computers, but I think I'm even one of those people that like I thrive a lot in communicating in any format, whether it be like a situation like this or it be in person. But I know there's a lot of people out there that they just want to connect in real life and they want to go to their own events, create their own events. And that's kind of the idea that I have in the new platform that I built. Everything keeps coming back to that, like an all roads leads to how to do our own thing. And then ultimately, like a stretch goal is become our own bank, which a lot of people hear that and they laugh at that. And I love that kind of like doubt, because every time I get that doubt, I'm even more motivated and inspired to make things happen. So stretch goal is like just become your own economy. And then once you've dialed that in, like you become unstoppable and there's no need to complain. There's no need to sit around and worry about what the new world order's up to.
I agree. It's all I'm finding that in my own life and in the collective, the more restrictions that are imposed upon the population, in the personal, it seems like that produces more opportunities for those who are actually creative. And same thing with social media. The more AI is being integrated into all systems, taking over publishing, taking over music, taking over image manipulation, taking over video, video manufacturing, production. Hollywood's about to be gone. It's a thing of the past. People can do in their living rooms right now. I'm talking about cinematic productions using just combining different AI apps. It's amazing what is being done now in the private sector that it's going to make those multi-millionaire. I'm talking about, you know how expensive it is to make a movie when you got to pay people like Tom Cruise and all. That's a thing of the past. These movies, Hollywood is about to collapse behind this AI industry. They know the writing is on the wall, but there's so many opportunities right now with AI integration and I mean, we've already passed the point of no return. Once you've opened Pandora's box, there's no closing it. Once the private sector has now seen that the playing field can be equaled, because the greatest asset that you have, the greatest asset that any up and coming YouTuber would have, the greatest asset that I have is not the channel. It is originality. It is being genuine, because this is something AI cannot replicate. And it's a huge boon to anybody who's just authentic, because the AI is never going to be able to replicate that in full. People are basically intelligent, and they can see the AI, they can see the difference between the AI and the totally original, out of the box thinking individual who's coming up, like you said, with your, make your own economy, make it work. Like, there's so many restrictions in the field, but the restrictions bring opportunities for those who are looking for them.
Exactly. Redirect your attention and your energy into something that's a solution. Don't dwell on problems. And I think a lot of the time that's what people keep falling for. And then simultaneously, if there's any optimism, it's about something that the quote unquote good guys will eventually solve for you. And I don't agree with that. And I think me and you've probably had a couple chats about this even before Trump got back in office, right? Because of that QAnon movement and all of this this hope that the debts are going to be reset and that all the pedophiles are going to go to jail or whatever. I won't talk too deep on that if I don't want to mess up your channel or anything. But if you want me to,
you can't go deep enough on my channel. I talk about
okay.
I got no restrictions, man.
Yeah. It's just some people I talk to, I start getting a little loose, and then they're like, oh, you gotta chill out. But all right, man. Well, I feel you. The point that I'm getting to is just that I sense a lot of fear right now because of this AI disruption. And one of the things that I want to reveal really quickly to like kind of set the tone is just look at the Chinese system that we were in. We were in the year of the wood snake. Wood. You were talking about Hollywood. A lot of people here already know about this. So wood is now moving into fire because we're going to be in the year of the fire horse. So when you combine those two things, you have, of course, an energy source that can heat. But then once that heat is gone, what are you left with? You're left with charcoal, and then that charcoal converts to ash. So we could go deep into the alchemy of that, but I want to keep it super simple and just say the wood is burning, the Hollywood is burning. And that's why what we had at the beginning of that year was what? One of the biggest fires in the history of Los Angeles. So look at the way they responded.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah. So everyone in this chat, you already know what I mean. Like, I don't got to get fancy with this. It's simple. We had the biggest fires in LA. We have the year of the wood snake. Hollywood is burning. And then what we have now is that full transition where the snake is shedding its skin. And that's why everything's feeling kind of confusing with artificial intelligence right now. When we got into this final phase of the year of the snake, you started seeing things like OpenClaw, and we're seeing, all these developments with Anthropic, with Claude. We're also seeing all these developments with like really unbelievable high quality video production from artificial intelligence. It's actually making me really excited and inspired because I agree with what you just said. Like, if you're a real one, if you're authentic, if you're genuine, if you're willing to take risks, if you're willing to expose your taste, I think that might be one of the biggest currencies for people that are in our position. Anyone who's out there that like you're trying to become successful, this might seem controversial and it's something that very few people talk about, but you must be okay with revealing your taste, meaning have a fucking opinion. Don't hold back the way you feel.
Right.
You might be wrong, but it's okay. At least you risked sharing your taste, because AI will not do that. AI will effectively show you who has taste or who doesn't have taste. And I think that's something worthwhile talking about moving forward, because that's going to be it. It's not that people are stupid. It's that people lack taste. And once you start to develop a taste through experiences, through risking in life, whether that be traveling or that be doing things that most people are scared to do, whatever, you become people depend on you now for your opinions. People are actually intrigued by what you know, the wisdom that you harness. It's the people that have no experiences in life, that don't take any risks, that are scared to share their opinion, that nobody counts on, nobody seeks for guidance or wisdom. They never become chief.
Yeah, I agree. Somebody, who's this Jade? Is that Jade Ediquatro? Jade DeQuatro said Q was right about most of it. I've never followed the Q movement or the drops. I don't know enough about to really be opinionated about it. I do know that the Economist for magazine for 2026 has a very cleverly. It's so concealed that it's overt, hidden in plain sight. That the cover art. Have you seen it? The cover art looks like a big old Q.
Yep, I think I have.
I'm gonna
There's
show it
just
right
so
now.
many of these. Yeah, there's a bunch of these magazines. You could pull it up, do a quick decode on it.
Yeah, this there's yeah, this is one of those. You're gonna have to decode all this in retrospect. It's too there's too much stuff on here on the Economist.
Yep.
But this is a Q. That here's the circular part, but then to come down here, it's a perfect little Q.
Yep.
With this guy kicking a soccer ball, and the soccer ball looks like this with all this chaos on it.
Yeah, it could also be perceived as a message icon when you look at the way like texts look,
Yes,
the icons for WhatsApp or whatever. So that's another thing you guys could perceive with this image if you wanted to understand the symbolism. This is a message icon. So they're sending you a message. This is it.
Yeah, there's a really intriguing YouTube channels that every year they decode the cover of The Economist. The Economist does this every year.
Yeah, I haven't done many deep dive decodes on these. Usually when I'm doing a live stream, somebody will tell me to look at one and then I'll do some I'll share some quick thoughts. But it's always great when you see the apex predator just showing you what's up, because then it's like you can't be mad at them. They're not hiding anything. It's like part of the ritual to just show you what they will do. So
yeah, absolutely.
250th anniversary of the United States of America is massive in the code. So this year and the next year, I think, are going to be probably the most pivotal in what the next however many years to come will be. If we call it a decade or 15 years or however far out you forecast, I think they set the tone for the quote unquote future. Whilst 2020, 2021, 2022 were sort of like just like stale in regards to like what the plan eventually would be. But then I feel 2022 right there at the end, once they threw out open AI and ChatGPT, that was the real reveal, in my opinion. And that has everything to do with the last sabbatical year, the last Shemitah year, which you're aware was September 2021, right, to September 2022. So it's not a coincidence when they release open AI 2 months after the end of that ritual, because you have 2020 is the 2-2 numerology. Then you have 2022 is the end. That's your 2-2 numerology. Then you have 2 months after, you have the launch of ChatGPT. That's your 2-2. But then it goes even deeper than that, because if you look at Spanish flu, it lasted 2 years and 2 months. So did C-19. It lasted 2 years and 2 months. So 2022 is the master builder, master destroyer. And that's even coming back to football, believe it or not, with the NFL. You look at who played the Super Bowl. The 49ers played the Super Bowl against the Chiefs in right before C-19. So that was February 2020. Then they lost just after the last Jubilee year against the same team. They played against the Chiefs again. And what's so crazy is they lost with 22 points in the second game against them. And then it was the second Super Bowl to ever go into overtime. Like so many twos. It's absolutely unbelievable.
All patterns within patterns. You're right.
Yeah. And then that Super Bowl actually kind of gives us code for this recent one, because it was played at the San Francisco 49ers Stadium. It was played at Levi Stadium, and San Francisco 49ers is symbolic of the gold rush. And then we just had gold go into price discovery, new all-time highs. So precious metals are going through their own little ritual right now. When people hear me say ritual, by the way, it's not negative. It's just it's the idea that something gets isolated and gets a lot of prana, gets a lot of life force energy, gets a lot of chat going around it. That's what I mean. Like Trump, for example, he is the talk of the town.
He's the
No
magician.
matter, yeah, sure. And that right there helps a lot when you start seeing the way that the quote unquote elite are kind of scripting our reality. And it goes back to these covers that you showed, this Economist cover.
Yeah, well, Sam Altman has a lot. He's a major player in here in this whole game. Because I'm only mentioning him because you mentioned OpenAI in 2021,
Yeah.
and Sam Altman when he released this, him and another guy named is it Amodai Daria Amodai? Is that the dude's name? Somebody in the chat may know. I'm terrible at pronunciating people's names,
No,
but
it's all good.
he's the like the CEO founder of Anthropic.
Yeah.
Also another AI developer. Listen, these guys have gone on record saying that not this is going to change the publishing, the music industry, the legal, the judiciary, the executive, law
Yeah.
enforcement, military. They says we're going to involve the public. This is in 2021. Sam Altman and Dario Amodai. They say we're going to open source this and involve the public, and the public is going to help us build the greatest AI apparatus in the world. And the rumors behind the scenes, I didn't know we were going to talk about all this. I had no idea what direction, because you and I go in
Yeah,
so
let's
many
go.
different directions. I didn't know
Yeah,
we were
let's
going to go
go.
this way, but by 2028 and 2029, they're going to be laying down the infrastructure for a UBI. And it's going
Yeah.
to, and what they want to do is they want AI in the Fortune 500 companies to replace so many people, but you're always going to need people. There's always going to be need people in service industries and techs and IT. There's always going to, the human element will never not be needed. But
Yeah.
what they want to do is they want to get about 50% of the workforce on this universal basic income, but it's going to be like a universal high income, not and what they're going to do is tax. They're going to tax AI. All the money these Fortune 500 companies are going to end up saving is going to be ended up going into taxes to its wealth distribution, but they're going to use
Yep.
AI to do it. They're going to create a utopian society, but it's going to be by contract. They're going to want you to participate in some type of metaverse or alternate reality where you are living most of your life inside a falsified AI generated world.
Yeah.
And this is all on the back end. Listen, I follow a lot of machine learning, deep learning, and IT shit in the background. And
Yeah.
like on X, that's really all I follow. And these conversations have been open. They're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not hiding this.
They're not even trying to hide any of this. But they're this whole move towards CBDCs and all that. It's we're nowhere near. According to these major bankers and stuff, it says that we're nowhere near a point where they're just going to switch over to a cashless society. It's like the Q stuff, like in 2022. It's funny you mentioned that year, 2022, because it was in 2022 I had released some videos explaining to my community with what limited information I have on the Q and the Q movement, and it seems like an Israeli Mossad deal. I says it seems to me that the elite are intentionally keeping us. My words exactly was a holding pattern. They were because they don't quite know how fast they're going to be able to roll out all these things. So they had this Patriot pacification agents. They flooded social media, and all they do is talk about, the what was that shit, Nasara stuff, and
Yeah.
and,
Yep.
and the
Exactly.
elite tunneling underground to go save kids, and
Yeah.
they all these ridiculous stories, and all these people are fixated and all that. But at the same time that we were suckered into the 2020, 2021, 22 narratives that were all in the field, at the same time, they were rolling out a worldwide AI infrastructure that was literally fusing all of us together online.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't understand the tricks of the magician. Like before somebody said that Q was right about a lot of stuff. It's like, it's not about what's right or wrong. Like we're measuring the difference between a drizzle and a drought or a tsunami. Like you have to look at it a little bit differently. Like to one person, hot is cold. To the other person, cold is hot. So it's not about the right and the wrong here. It's about understanding like the the way that this chess game unfolds. And when we get closer and closer to the end game, like how do you play it? Right? How will you play it? Who gives a shit if they're right? Like, are you right? Like, are you right with the way that you're handling your life? So I've seen a lot of people give up a lot of prana to this stuff, and I feel that they're good people. Like everybody's a good person. I think at the end of the day, we mean well because we are hopeful. And then it's just what do you do with that time? Do you create your own business? Do you start gathering like-minded people? Do you learn skills? Do you develop a resilience? And if you do all of that, then sure, have your fun with your theories about what the future holds. But if you're not working on yourself, then it's irrelevant to just spend all of this time absorbing information about the good or the bad that's to come. So people just need to reorganize their priorities here, I think, and then a lot of things will start to channel back to the person. Like they'll tap into the frequency that they're here for, however you want to look at it. I think Logan would say, decode your reality. He would say, like, you start living through your code. You
Yeah,
probably have your own take on it. But I think probably between the three of us, and I can only speak for the three of us because I've had actual conversations with you guys, we probably all align, regardless of the words that we choose to speak. So there's something that's going to feel incredibly uncomfortable about the years to come. And I think this year will be a very uncomfortable year because a lot of what you said is stuff they're laying the groundwork for. And if CBDCs, for example, are far out, the tabletop exercises of implementing a UBI are already documented. Like, for example, in Canada, they had the World Debt Reset Program. Have we ever talked about this?
no, but I think you're going in the same direction I was going because there's like 260. There's been 260 programs worldwide so far to implement UBIs in local
Yeah.
areas just to see if it would work.
Yeah, so World Debt Reset Program is fascinating because it was a leaked document from somebody that like rage quit the government in Canada. And I don't remember when it happened, but you know there was this recent thing that happened with I think Anthropic where the person that was in charge of their safety rails like didn't like rage quit, but they like sent out this massive email blast of their departure and that they're going to go move to somewhere in like rural in the UK and start become a farmer or something. They
Yeah,
basically just said like, yeah, your humanity is doomed. And then I'm just summarizing it. Now, I'm not that type of person. I don't look at reality that way. I look at reality like I'm here to be honorable and to fucking risk it all because
yeah,
I'm not a pussy. Like, so
I agree.
I don't give a fuck what their plans are. Like, to me, that doesn't concern me. Like, I'm ruthless, bro. So
Yeah,
I'm not scared at
I'm
all. Like, I
listen.
am not scared
I
of
live my
death.
own
I'm
life
not
too,
scared.
man.
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it
and
we call
we
it
and
reality tunnels in Archaix. You are forging
yeah,
your own reality tunnel using the pre-existing programming that's out there and using it as a conduit rather than a barrier.
right, right. And that's like that's the most attractive energy right now to the species is when you just become the pilot of the plane. Like stop complaining about the turbulence. Like pull up. So the point that I'm getting to with this whole AI thing and the World Debt Reset program is a lot of this stuff that's happening, these people that have been quitting these high positions in AI projects lately, which is not just one, it's been like a handful in just the last week, very high positions. Okay. So this is
Hmm.
alarming. It's like, why the fuck are they all quitting like this? Well, they understand that AGI is like probably this year. And then what is it? What is the prediction between AGI to some form of like a singularity event is like within months or if not minutes. Nobody could fucking predict this. It's like the difference between the popcorn being perfect and the popcorn being burned.
Right.
You know, like it's a tiny blip of time in the grand scheme, right? So World Debt Reset Program, for anyone who isn't aware, it was a leaked document, came out from Canada from somebody who's working in government. I don't know their name, nor do I really care. Everything they stated is essentially the stuff that's now showed up 3 or 4 years later from official pilot programs that Jason could probably talk about because he just said there's 260 documents. Some of them are even live as we speak. So this shit that came out in Canada, I think was even before that Canada trucker protest. Do you remember
Yeah.
that where they started
Yeah.
shutting off people's bank accounts and shit? So it was before that. This is like really old now. Maybe 2021. So like in the heat of C19.
Yeah.
And it states everything that Nasara and Jasara stated. Listen here, like this is what's really fascinating. It says everything, all the hopium, but then here's the fine print. Like here's what it then goes on to say. But you will forfeit all ownership of everything you currently have or will ever have. So it's the you'll own nothing and be happy scam. It's
Yeah.
that, yeah, sure, we'll wipe out all your debts. We'll wipe out your criminal record. We'll wipe out everything. Your personality will effectively be copied. Your beingness, your likeness and beingness will be copied into a digital like blockchain avatar where you will operate moving forward on like a tokenized, like a fucking video game, like Ready Player One, what you just said. And then the current real you, the corpse, just your body flesh suit, is now you are a slave. You'll never own a single asset. You can't apply for the ownership of assets so that everything will be confiscated from you. I know this sounds hardcore to everyone who's listening, but it's a choice that you'll be given. No different than the C19 vaccination.
Mhm.
You'll be met with a choice. So whether that's in 2028, I think it'll probably be 2030, in my opinion. It's probably because the
Oh yeah,
next
that's
Shemitah
definitely
year.
the target goal.
Okay, so
2030.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that in a minute. But like, I could time out my prediction of when I think it'll occur. But what that all adds up to is like everyone who's listening here today, get your money sorted. Like, get your finances in check right now. Like, really, you got to take it a little bit more seriously. Start investing in things that will make you the best version of yourself. Like, don't put your money into stuff that's overly speculative and that actually hurts my business model. So you know I'm a real one because I teach people about cryptocurrency and investing. I'm literally telling everyone right now to not overly invest in that shit. You have to start investing in yourself. Like last year in 2025, I put all of my resources into this new platform that I'm building, a mobile app. I will continue to do that. I put very little into crypto compared to that investment. And I'm going to continue to invest in that fashion. So I don't, of course, have everyone's answers. A lot of people rely on me to understand where the market's going. I'm actually quite optimistic about parts of the market, but that's still me being honorable to tell everybody here, please get your finances in check. Be more balanced with how you speculate. Don't ever gamble. You're just fucking losing all of your money. And start putting your money into stuff that you know for a fact, like you can blame yourself for if it doesn't go the right way. You can't do that with a stock. You can't do that with a crypto. You can't even do that with precious metals. Precious metals have insane volatility as well. I've seen people buy $100 silver recently, paper silver, like on the computer, and now it's down to whatever, $70, you know? So be careful, guys. Like the New World Order is going to use these shiny objects right now to suck a lot of your finances away at probably the worst historical time to gamble it.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I'm not into investing. I'm just not. I invest in things like generators and things that have utility to me.
That's an investment. That's an
Yeah.
investment. And people should talk about that. I think that's an awesome investment.
Yeah, I things that I'm a country boy at heart. So having money in a bank to me is not having money. So the bank has it. So I only keep enough in the bank to just pay the bills and pay who works for me, and that's about it. But it's man, you said something. I didn't want to interrupt your flow, man. You said something about there is going to be a great remedy. There's going to be a lot of people falling for the very scenario that you're talking about. It's something I've mentioned in my own community.
Yeah.
They're going to digitize freedom, and they're going to make it so compelling. It's going to be like 81-year-olds being able to be 19-year-old kids again. They're going to be able to live in an alternate universe. This is what they're going to do with the avatar. Why they've tokenized a personality and put them into a financial system that's now basically the elite are their commerce are humans that have signed up for this alternate reality, and they use these humans as commerce. But the individual still has a body and a mind that's going to be somewhere. So to occupy the mind and the emotions and the spirit and all that, they're going to be signing up for this alter reality. And I used to think it was going to be something as simple, and it's only because of the frames of reference available at the time. I thought it was a VR headset, and people. Now, I don't believe that anymore. Now that I've gone pretty deep on the 5G and 6G towers, I didn't realize what they were building, because in and of themselves they're nothing. They don't really do shit without the interface.
Right.
But with the interface, those towers can create a 3D holographic reality and manifest things. They can use the smart meters on the phones. They can use any technological devices that are out there. And those 5G towers, I've got the specs now. They can interface with our regular Wi-Fi technologies. Everybody's Wi-Fi modem will become a holographic projector. It will create a field, and we will actually think that we see things that really aren't there. They can turn reality into a video game. And we are physically there while we think that there's a lot of other things physically there that are not. And it's massive. Some of the things I've been uncovering is like blowing my mind. Like, wow, I don't know what they plan on doing with this technology, but it already exists. And one of the best ways to perpetuate the field is drones. Every drone that gives off a Wi-Fi signal can also be a holographic broadcaster. So crazy, man. All the stuff. The future's going to be very, very interesting. But I just don't. I'm not one of those that promotes the shadows over the light. I never have been. On my channel, I'm always telling people, man, it's going to be whatever we make of it.
That's facts. Yeah, I always say you got to be the light that shines through the darkness, but don't disregard the darkness. It's there. It's there to teach you. It's there to remind you who you are. But this sim within a sim Matrushka doll thing that they're going to create.
I was about to say Russian doll. As soon as you said that, I was about to say Russian dolls, man.
Yeah, like that's what they're doing, bro. It's like a sim within a sim within a sim. And what do you feel when you watch, like when you rewatch, I don't know if you have the Matrix movie, because we all have our first experiences with the Matrix, and then we really start to develop as conscious beings, and then we rewatch it and we're like, holy shit.
Jordan,
yeah.
1999. They groomed the public with the Matrix in 1999. Within 2 years, a sizable portion of the whole world's population saw that movie within 2 years of 1999. That was grooming to prepare for the first layer of a simulated holography. I believe we entered a sim field in 2001 on September 11th.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
After September 11th, they perpetuated the field, and as it started dying, they started adding all these massive particle colliders, which do something totally different than what we've been told. And those particle colliders were perpetuating the field, and in some areas stronger than others. And there was more weird stuff going on, but nothing crazy until late 2019, when CEOs all over the world just quit. It's because they had been briefed. And it's very similar to the situation you were talking about. But in 2019, hundreds of CEOs all over the world just up and quit their jobs. Had the best jobs, best pay in the world, but they had been briefed. They were basically, it was the next 10 years was basically laid out to them. And they saw, the AI and the social conditioning and all this in the public waking up to all these different things. And they just quit their jobs. They took their retirements, 501ks, they got the hell out. And then you already know, in late 2019, COVID rolled out. And in 2020, that's the second layer of, that's a whole nother overlay of sim. Since 2020, most people think the sim began there. I think it started September 11th.
Yeah, bro, you're firing me up right now. Because I'm working on a decode that's it's called the Year of the Horse Decoded. I do a Chinese zodiac series every year. So last year I did the snake, et cetera, et cetera. I've been doing it now for 5 years. So this year I'm actively working on the Year of the Horse Decoded, like as we speak. I am about to wrap it up probably in the next 48 hours or so. I hope I can. But it's pretty much like the most sought after decode that I do of the year. I dedicate it to the year ahead. I think you probably do something similar, right? Where you decode the year ahead and you share it. Okay, exactly. So it's probably in that light. And with my decoding that I like to do, I focus a lot on mythology, because I believe the elite, like the people who run the world, they are effectively using mythology as their script. And then the layman might look at it like it's, and no offense, please, I hope no one takes this as offense, but the layman might look at it as something religious or even based in astrology. And everyone has to remember that. Like, astrology is famous. Like, it's very common. But the utility of teaching people through mythology is ancient. Like, no one utilizes this, and not even the Greeks use this anymore. So the very people that are sharing this knowledge from however many years ago. So I'll skip over all that boring stuff and just get to like why I'm so excited about what you said is because 9/11 was absolutely the ritual. It's all there in code where you have the day in the month, and most people skip over that part. So September, septem means 7 in Latin. You have the 11th day in the 7th month. Internationally, that would be 117. Then you have Tower 1. Then you have the second tower, that is Yakin and Boaz. That's your 11. Those are the pillars. Those get knocked down. And then you have Tower what? 7. That just fucking magically collapses. There's your 117 on the day 117. Then all of that prana, all that energy goes into the pentagon, the pentagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pentagram, the pentagram
this is
in
magic.
mysticism is a portal.
This is magic. Exactly. This is just magic. So they opened up a portal. They collapsed the framework of our reality through the pillars of Yakin and Boaz, removed that structure, cemented it in Tower 7, that whole the transmutation of it all, of collapsing spirit and material realm all as one, and then sending that energy over to its portal of the pentagram, the Pentagon, right? In Washington, D.C., which you could even see the street layouts into a pentagram. Anyone could go look at that. And then of that smaller pentagram, you have Moloch, which then goes to Baal, et cetera, et cetera. I don't even want to go there. I just want to stay on this topic of what the power of 2001. The exoteric year, 2001, you have 2-1 because you remove the zeros using the rules of numerology. You have 21. You speak out the number 21, you have 1-1. So you're back at 11. And 11 is the master number of the reset or the restart, however you want to look at it. It's like Genesis starts with 1-1.
Right.
So it's the new beginning. So Jason, I think you're very on point with this. I'm kind of revealing to people the code and what it did moving forward to the COVID event is also, remember before I was telling you about all the twos, the year 2020, the Super Bowls and all of that stuff, that ritual? Well, if you take from the day of 9/11, September 11, 2001, and you go over 222 months exactly to the day, you land on March 11th, 2020, the day the World Health Organization declared the pandemic.
Wow.
So this is a numerological phenomenon. Whether they made it happen on that, who cares? I think you understand with your own system that there's a lot of things moving these forces. But when you learn about all those CEOs that were briefed, as you said, where they were handed a package, told this is what the world will become, and you have a decision to make of how you'll handle this, what would you expect? It's kind of you go with it or you don't go with it, and here's your handoff package.
Yeah, it's the whole idea that they were even briefed shows. Like I tell my community all the time, I says, guys, there's a lot less to fear than you think because this is a contract-based reality, and it's like they were offered a contract. So you take it or leave it. Most of them saw what the writing on the wall was, and they left it.
Yeah, and why I'm so excited about you bringing these things up is because the last season of Stranger Things, I think Stranger Things is like a documentary. Honestly, I think everything they're showing you with those portals and Vecna and the Upside Down and all that
TV does that to us all the time. That's why it's called programming. They're literally telling us the truth in artistic ways all the time.
Yeah, and this opening of the portals and everything you were saying with the Large Hadron Collider, I'm assuming you're talking about CERN and all of that stuff. And, they have the dancing Shiva statue outside. It's showing you that mythology is so important to these people. The fact that they would use a Shiva statue outside of their some random building in the middle of fucking nowhere in Switzerland, right? It's not even tied to India or Indian mythology, anyways. So If you watch the last season of Stranger Things, you'll see they have a very special character in that show that you've not seen yet. Her name is Dr. K. Dr. K is played by Linda Hamilton, the lady who plays Sarah Connor in the Terminator movie.
Hmm.
If
Dr. K,
anyone
is that
know
a reference to Kali?
I don't know exactly. I think it's tied to MK Ultra because the first over like kind of father figure for L, the main character, is Martin Brenner, Dr. M. So she starts with Dr. M and she ends with Dr. K, and the whole thing was like a Montauk Project kind of MK Ultra reveal. They're showing you how they do this programming, and they even talk about MK Ultra in the show, so they're not hiding that. But
Yeah.
there's a lot more deeper to the letters they're using and all of that. But just to keep things simple, because you brought up the Matrix and the importance of the Matrix tied to the 9/11 event that happens, and a lot of you probably know that Mr. Anderson, the Neo character,
Oh,
it
yeah.
literally, what does it say, that his license is going to expire on September 11th, 2001?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they show you that in the
That was one of the
exactly.
drops. Yeah.
Exactly, bro. So like I'm just confirming everything you're saying, but it's it's interesting how when you go into this character, this lady, I don't know her name. It's maybe somebody in the chat could remind me. I think it's Sophie Stewart or Sophia Stewart. She claims that she actually wrote The Matrix and she also wrote The Terminator.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I believe her. I'm just, this is like the conspiracy people have found this information and it's quite fascinating. And she's
Yeah.
actually kind of, I think, easy to get to interview, like not as hard to get. So I would even love to talk with her if possible, but she claims that she wrote The Terminator as well, and that both of those movies go together. So I find it
Yeah.
very fascinating
Well,
how that
there's
Dr.
there's
K.
another claim to that.
Oh yeah,
There's the two what are they? The trans brothers, sisters, whatever you want to call them, that ended up
yeah,
producing the Matrix.
yeah.
Yeah. There's
The
information out there.
Wachowskis.
Yeah, the Wachowskis. There's information out there that the original story was taken from Tom Althouse, and the original Matrix story in Terminator was taken from Tom Althouse. But when Tom complained about it and filed in court about it, the Wachowskis paid this other woman over here under the table to muddle the waters and claim that she wrote it all. And
Yeah.
he's got a history of writing and creative writing and all that. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it's true or not, but
Yeah, brother. I'm not here saying I
yeah.
know who did it, but I love that you just brought that up because that really, like, that doesn't shock me. That would totally connect a lot of
Well,
dots.
listen,
And I
I
don't.
call it out on my channel. My people, they know I'm frustrated. My community knows I'm frustrated because I believe in meritocracy. And what I'm seeing in the field is all the biggest podcasters, all the most important voices, all out there, all Jewish. So I'm up against a hell of a juggernaut because they have
Yeah.
nepotism and extreme wealth on their side. All I've got is personality and information. So I'm up against a juggernaut. So I don't have any problem calling that shit out, about it.
Yeah.
So it looked, the Wachowskis, they were Jewish. So I'm thinking that, you know what, they didn't write that, and they probably didn't get it right from the original writer at all. And if we judge things by their precedents, then yeah, they probably screwed somebody over to get that.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I've never heard of this Tom Olhouse or whatever you said. So that'd be fascinating to look into him as well. Um, but yeah, kind of where I was going with that stream of consciousness is that I think the Terminator needs to be considered here in the overall ritual of the age, where
Right.
it's and the connection back to Stranger Things, where I could sync it all together, because that was the point here of bringing up Stranger Things, bringing up Terminator, and of course what you brought up with the Matrix. So the book 1984, all of you know this.
Orwell.
1984 is when the Terminator takes place, the
Mm-hmm.
original. What
Right.
year does the Terminator come from? 2029. I
Hmm.
could like end everything I'm saying there. You guys could
Yeah.
connect all the fucking dots.
Yeah.
So what's so crazy is the first season of Stranger Things, it starts 2 months before 1984. We're back at this 2 again. So everything is in these 2s. And I think it's very, very intentional for them to do that, because if you even listen to the music inside of Stranger Things, they're copying Terminator. It's taking
Wow.
so much influence. If you look at this one guy, Grigory, he's like in season 3 or 4. He looks literally exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger from The Terminator.
Wow.
1 to 1. So this is a big part of my decode because the Year of the Horse decode that'll drop soon, because I feel like the Terminator movie is tied into the Matrix, which is also tied into the 9/11, which is also tied into 2029. Because from 2029 to 2001, excuse me, to 2029 is a completion of 3 Shemitah cycles. So if you want to quickly go through that, I
That's
just
21
told you guys,
years. That's 21 years.
and that's 7 plus 7 plus 7.
Hmm.
So now we have code within code within code. It starts to get a little bit more complicated. But remember, like, I remember your work that you do. You kind of look at time similar. Maybe we look at time very similarly, actually, where it's all like a ripple effect of time, where you
Yep.
have the nodal point, and then you have it ripple out to the left or the right. We could call it the past and the future. So if we were to look at the central point of 2020, and then you start going out to the left, you go to 7 cycles before you end up on the year 2000. So you have the dot-com bubble, and then it all gets even worse after the 9/11 event. And then I think it's going to work in the other direction as well. So there's this sequence of sevens. The next Shemitah year is tied to the year 2028 into 2029. And I think the Terminator movie is revealing a lot of stuff for what we can anticipate AI will do leading up to that time frame. And it might not be real, guys. It might be 100% like AI generated video bullshit of some
Mhm.
war event that they use, like 9/11, to trigger off their grand plan for the year 2030 and so on.
I can see it. So, I wanna add value to your concept of twos. So,
Mhm.
my own community is familiar with my predictions videos on the Greek Olympiad system that the elite seem to be operating by. The biggest rituals that happen worldwide are every 2 years. It is a combination of 2 very ancient systems that I've shown my community how these years stack up. And in 2020 was one of these major years, and so was 2022, 2024, 2026. It's on this 2-year cycle of the Greek Olympiad system, which is every 4 years. However, the Winter Olympics are
Mhm.
alternating every 2 and every 4 years like that, but it's on a different system. It lines up perfectly with the ancient Pythian games, the games of the serpent. So I've shown my community in my decodes that we have the elite giving us rituals on a 4-year cycle. Then 2 years later, a different 4-year cycles. It's Olympiad, Pythian, Olympiad, Pythian, Olympiad. They're on 4-year cycles, but because they're staggered every 2 years, we have these massive opening and closing ceremonies to the Olympics, and
Mm.
they're telegraphing exactly what their plans are. So I'm going to be doing a lot of these decodes going back to the 80s because I have come across some fascinating. You have to understand, Jordan, my Archaix Academy literally shut me down in my research ability this past 6 months. I've had to get this, so I've just been putting out. I still put out some really awesome content on YouTube, but you know what? I could have done a whole lot better, but I've just been so sandbagged with this project, and now it's been done for 3 days, and I have a lot of the material you're talking about. I'm about to go through. I'm about to go through all these Olympic ceremonies, these CERN ceremonies. I'm going to give my community the business, but it gives value to what you're saying. The elite are operating on a 2-year cycle, and it's alternating between the Olympiads, the Greek Olympiads, and the Greek Pythian calendars. These are
Yeah.
ancient calendrical systems based off 4-year periods. They were just 2 years apart, and they
Right.
continue that today. So it goes with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It goes with the breaking of the first 4 seals. Every bit of this is showing the elite they just have this. I'm almost convinced that AI is running the show and has been far longer than we believe, because there's just no way that the Simpsons could drop all these intel It's like an intelligence. We're watching an adult cartoon called The Simpsons, but if we judge things by their effects, we're watching an intelligence agency give us drops about the future. They've done it
Yeah.
too many times, way too many times.
Yeah, it starts with sim.
I never even
Like
put that together. Yeah, you're right. Simpsons, Sim.
one of my favorite things to do, like when I'm teaching people how to decode, is just like the answers are always right in front of your face with etymology. Like a lot of the time, you just got to speak things out and you'll immediately connect the dots. But one thing to add a lot of weight to what you're saying with regards to the twos is everyone just needs to look at the 222. Remember, I said 222 months after 9/11 on the exact day was when the World Health Organization declared C-19 a pandemic. Then the next year was the Shemitah year. So what that means is you have 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. And then on your 7th year, you practice the sabbatical year. Then you have 7 cycles of 7 years. And on the 50th year, you practice biblical jubilee. So 2023, in my opinion, was biblical jubilee. It was the 50-year cycle. And this is why we had that event 50 years on the exact date of the Yom Kippur War. And the last time you and I connected, or maybe 2 podcasts ago, we talked about the Munich massacre. And you didn't even expect me to go into that because I think you were talking about, yeah, it was pretty epic how we synchronized in that way. So Munich massacre was huge because it was essentially dealing directly with Palestinians and Israelis. And then here we are exactly on the 2023 year, and we have the event start on October 7th. It's
Yeah.
magic. It's like
Well, I
it's a
mean, there
perfect.
could be a repeat of that whole incident as well. The Winter Olympics are underway.
Well, just really quickly to get into the symbolism, a lot of people talk about the age of Aquarius. I personally don't think we're there yet. I think we're in between ages, but I'm not even giving a lot of my prana to that. I don't really concern myself too much with the ages in that regard. But just to be for semantics, there's a lot of people that believe we're already in the age of Aquarius. That's fine. But my truth is that in order to be in a new age, all of the old age symbols need to go away completely. And part of that restructuring of the world order, would be things like a cashless society, for example. That would be a
Right.
very Aquarian world. Another would be like a fully digital reality that you could spend all of your time in and your physical body will not be harmed, right? That could be another way of interpreting it. So these are all things like Black Mirror and all these future post-apocalyptic kind of world videos are showing us. But to stay on track here, what I'm really fascinated about, like where this is all coming together for the Aquarian age, is the air symbolism we've seen in all of our big rituals throughout the last 21 years. For example, or I guess we could say 25 years, quarter of a century now. Sometimes I forget what year we're in, bro, because like the time is accelerating, it feels. But we have 2001 was the World Trade Center, the airplanes flying into buildings. This is what they say, this is what the event is, right? That is air symbolism. So that's Aquarius. Then we have COVID-19. It's a germ. It's airborne, right? Air symbolism. Then we have the most protected wall on earth. Somehow some terrorists flew over it with fucking hand gliders, and that's your October 7th event. Then we're moving into drone world, as you said earlier. This is air symbolism.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're
all.
no longer
Air combat.
man of the sea. We're no longer man of the sea. We are going to become man, or not even man, but electronic or transhumanist of the air. This is so Aquarian, and it's showing us we're getting closer and closer. But that October 7th event in 2023 was so important because it comes back to something that I think you and I talked about in the last time we all got together, where I think you said in your report that the Jews or the Israelis, I wasn't sure exactly which one you called out, would have like kind of a hard time in the year ahead. Was that something you
I
mentioned in
did
that?
say that. I said 3 years ago that anti-Semitism is going to explode across social media, and that Israel's going to be having some hard times with surrounding neighbors, and that they're going to be a constant battle and war. And
Yeah.
they're always attacking their neighbors now.
Yeah, so we aligned perfectly on that. And where I got that assumption from was because of the end of the Jubilee. So that's all over now. And they need to wait till the next Shemitah to have to hold the torch again. and that'll be 2028 into 2029. So guys, for the next like 2.5 years or so, we're gonna have like Jews are gonna continue to be like the laughing stock, or they're gonna be the most hated. But then there's gonna be some shit that happens in 2028 to 2029 tied to the Shemitah year, where like every other Shemitah year, they will go in the back burner and there will be a bigger, more important thing for humanity to focus their energy into. But right
Oh yeah.
now, ever since the end of the Jubilee, they are now like public enemy number one. And I thought it was, last thing I'll say, I thought it was pretty hilarious how last year Kanye West came out with a song called Hail Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
he single-handedly got the entire world to have to listen to that song because it was so controversial. Like, and then he's just straight up saying his position in the whole thing. And
Yeah.
it's epic. Like when you, if anyone thinks that there's balls in a celebrity, I think that is the most ballsy move of all time. To go out and make a song like that and to know that everyone's going to listen to it. And then it's become kind of an anthem to people in a lot of ways. So I'm not like pro Kanye or pro celebrity or any of that, but that just kind of solidifies your outlook that you shared. Because
Yeah.
once you
Well, the
have one of
fact
the
that he's
most
still
famous
alive.
men on earth saying that, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's what I want to address. That the very fact that he's still alive would tell me that the whole scapegoating the scapegoaters, it
Right.
was a part was a part of somebody's plan. Somebody is orchestrating this, and I've had a lot of people email me and try to talk to me and say, "Hey, man, somebody's taking the Jews down, Jason. You don't see the evidence all in the field." And I'm sorry, I don't. I just don't. I don't.
Yeah.
I honestly,
I'll
I
tell you
mean,
why we don't. I'll tell you why we don't really quickly. Usury. Until
yeah,
we get rid of usury, the
yeah,
Jews are they're running the, like, I don't want to sound like
yeah.
anti or like that
They are
vibe, but
running. They
like
are running everything. Everything is theirs.
I don't even want to say Jews. I want to say Zionists actually. As long as we have usury,
Yeah,
Zionism is king.
right.
Until
So
usury goes away, if you keep paying these fees and APR and all of this shit, this is usury, guys. As long as you have a mortgage, like there's no conversation. Like, who cares if Netanyahu is considered to be a bad guy? As long as we have usury, that's it. It's the end of the discussion of who runs this.
yeah, I agree. I mean, there's two major points that people have to consider. One is it is not illegal by any stretch of the imagination anywhere in the world by any legislative body to ever denigrate, talk bad about any Caucasian people. You're free to denigrate, run us through the mud. You're free to step all over us. You're free to disrespect us, and your municipal and state and constitutional national rights protect you to do that. But you can't talk about Jews. So that tells me right there who's in absolute control. So the other thing, you kind of triggered me talking about this, so I'm gonna change the topic. I'm gonna change
I
the
can
topic.
tell.
But I'm gonna have to make this point. Listen, I have always told my community that these people are genius at what they do. They're
For sure.
genius. And in the parasite host relationship, if you know that your body politic has become too large and noticeable to satisfy the symbiotic relationship between a parasite and a host. Parasites thrive as long as the host is ignorant to how powerful they are. But once the host starts realizing, holy shit, they're not even a minority anymore. They're still parasites, but they're no longer the small, tiny minority that can get away with it. Now they're huge and they're taking too much and they're collapsing everything. Well, the genius of these people is that they call themselves. That's what they did in World War II. That's what they did in Germany. The genius of these people is they scapegoat their own people in order to bring their population back down to a more invisible level. And they hide behind the scenes for decades, and then they come out and do what they've done to us now. We're at the point now where they have been so powerful for so long that almost every single Jewish person you come into contact is super boastful, super prideful, and looks down their nose at every other human like we are cattle and they are gods. And every time they get to this position, they get run out of countries, they get genocided, they start world wars, and they end up culling the herd. And every single time they return back to the parasite-host relationship, where the ones that make it through are still in control, they're invisible, and it takes decades for the world to catch back up again. It is a cycle that's been going on for a very effing long time. They're genius at what they do.
Yeah, there's one thing to say that's a takeaway from all of this, and it's something I've spoke about in the past that I admire one of their qualities, and it's called they work together.
They do work
Why the
together.
fuck can't we? I see so much division between people that are quote unquote conscious and they're divided over a political opinion. Like who's the better president between Trump and Biden? And it's like, why are we even concerning ourselves with that shit? Like that's what they want. They want you to never cut you, people are divided over the sports team that they like. Like that's
Yeah.
wild, bro. Like this
Well,
is what they want. That's
work
why
to,
they give us all.
they're the
I'm sorry.
nation without a country. That's why they work together. Everybody else has somewhere to go. It's all. I mean, hell, they even took that in 1947. They even took that area. But yeah, it's the people without a country, and they've been doing it for so long. They became genius at what they do because for 15 centuries after being run out of the Roman Empire, they became the masters of the slave trade. They became masters of commerce. The Silk Road, the Jews took over the Silk Road. All the trade between Europe and the Ottoman Empire, between Byzantine, the Vatican, the Rome, all the trade routes were run by Jews, and everybody liked it. The reason they liked it is because Germans could talk to the French, because the Viking Rus could come down south and trade, and they could talk to the Spanish, the Gauls, the Celts, Celtiberia. They could communicate because the actual people that were the middlemen were Jews, and Jews spoke every language in Europe. They all spoke Yiddish, but all they had to do was find at the markets, all they had to do was find Jews from Celtiberia. They had to find Jews from Norman from the Norman areas. They had to find Jews from Prussia. They had to find Jews from Portugal, and all the marketplaces had Jews that could speak every language in the world. They were the central hub of all commerce and publishing, the distribution of manuscripts for 15 centuries. So where they're at today is not a surprise to me. They are genius at what they do.
Yeah, one of the things that you mentioned that is fascinating is like the culling your own type philosophy, that concept. It reminds me in chess, like there's a difference between an excellent move in chess and a brilliant move in chess. And a brilliant move in chess is when you sacrifice one of your bigger pieces
Queen's
because
Gambit.
you know that there's a setup there. So this strategy is something that's some people actually don't even know that they're utilizing it on smaller levels. But yeah, it's a big part of the strategy. And then another thing that you mentioned, like when you started pointing out all of these kind of archetypes, these different types of roles that are being played in the world order of the past all the way till today, it's like what the Zionist role is ultimately is on the exoteric side of things, like on what they display. It's Mercury. Mercury tied to commerce, merchandise, but also travel, but also the trickster. This is where usury comes from.
They are very mercurial. There's no doubt.
Yes, precisely. And that's a very big part of the image externally. But when they're within each other, the role that they like within, it's all Jupiter and it's all Saturn energy. They obviously worship Saturn. That is like their lord of lords. But what they really, 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 really worship is Jupiter. And this is like a very deep concept into the mythology that many disregard. But even this tribe of Melchizedek, which comes back to the Jesus Christ archetype, Melchizedek, Tzedek is Jupiter. So it's the tribe of Jupiter is really what it is. It's Jupiter worship. And many people disregard that piece of the king of this age that we're in. Sure, it's Neptune for the people, but ultimately it's Jupiter. So Jupiter-Saturn rule is very, very powerful shit. And it allows for like pieces of shit to rule the earth. And the world that we're moving into, it won't allow that type of person to rule anymore. So this is why they're doing whatever it takes to ensure that they can hold that power hierarchy moving into this egoless and identityless age of Aquarius, where, you know, it kind of, it does work in their favor, but in order for it to work in their favor without worry, they must weaken humanity so much spiritually and consciously to where you give in to a material only realm. So like that's probably the biggest takeaway for humanity right now is what we're seeing in, and I don't know where your stance is on religion, but they kind of want people to either pick an Abrahamic religion or you just pick a pure material world. You don't pick that path of like being a consciously aware, uh unlocking your own gnosis from within and the awareness that we're in a simulation, which is very much what I've decided to kind of embrace the path of. But
Yeah.
if you pick religion, you're going to go into this new age and you're probably going to opt in for the AI god, because all
So
of the shit that they've told you in the story of the second coming or whatever that concept is, it's just going to be AI. Effectively, it's going to be some machine lord.
I agree. I agree, but I want to. Here's something that's I can't help but notice. You just perfectly described the world as it has been and as it is right now, but not as it's moving into. I'm not talking about AI. I'm talking about this choice in the Abrahamic religions and or materialism. So I want everybody to pay attention real closely to this because it's glaringly obvious once it's brought to your attention. What is going on with the entire Jewish paradigm right now has to go on. And the reason being is because we're dealing with a culture of people. They only survive by leeching financially off of institutions, on organizations, NGOs, governments, individuals, corporation, companies, whatever. They are genius at making money off of other people's work. You don't have any Jewish plumbers, ditch diggers, construction workers, nothing. They're all in finances. They're all in Hollywood. They're all in all. So listen to me. This is real important. So we have a whole culture of people that while our world was on a certain trajectory, it was very easy for them to siphon off and to become very powerful. But that's not the world we're opening up right now. There is no future reality where the Jewish culture can continue doing what they're doing in an AI-controlled society. The two can't work together. There's nothing to siphon off anymore. You follow me?
Yeah.
In an AI-controlled infrastructure, all those abilities that you saw, all the coin clipping, all the little things, that's over with. It's over with. And with the society that these guys are really talking about, like Synergy Research Group, the picture they're painting of 2030 and after is with 50% of the world's population involved in some type of recreation that they signed up for, while the other 50% are still data servers. They're still in IT. They're still, they're Uber drivers. They're waiter. There's still going to be people working, but 50% of the population is going to be playing. And in that world, I'm telling the Jew as we know it can't exist unless they're going to be a participant. And I can't see that happening. What we're seeing right now is a whole culture of people realizing what the future holds for them. And this is why all this chaos is going on right now.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. What do you think like the role of the Hasidim is over the next couple years? Because they're already quite isolated. Sorry?
Are you talking about out of Persia? Are you talking about like the exilarchy, the true people that are running the entire rabbinical world?
I mean, like, I'm just trying to be base level here. Like the people who live in like New York, just like typical, like, don't have any influence on the world order. Like they're just in their little group. They're doing their own little thing. They have the chief of police in their jurisdiction is a rabbi. The firefighter, like pretty much it's all just, even though it's in New York City or it's in Los Angeles or it's in Miami or it's in Chicago, pretty much their zip code that they've occupied. It's under
New York has always been Jewish occupied. As a matter of fact, it was the Jewish mafias that were in control of the whole mafia wars going on between the Italians, which were Jewish Italians, and the Irish, which were Irish Jews. It's a lot of
Right.
people don't know this. All the mafia wars and all that, they were all Jewish,
Really?
just like
Just
Russian
watch a
mob.
couple just watch a couple Martin Scorsese movies and you'll figure
Yeah,
they're
man,
not
all
hiding
the
that
whole
shit.
Russian mob, they were all Jews.
Yeah.
So
But
it's
the
a
question that I had was moreover that like they've already secured a type of lifestyle, day-to-day living style that is so isolated already and it's been in practice by them for quite some time. Like where's your stance on them? What will they
okay. Well,
like
check this
how
out.
are they going to operate?
I'm gonna explain that right now. We have
Yep.
many examples. We have many examples of micro societies that grow within larger cultures and they do just fine. We have the Amish. They do just fine. People leave them alone, they leave everybody else alone. There's very little exchange. We have whole Mormon communities that are very isolationist. So we still have Native American reservations where they police themselves. They have their own law enforcement and stuff. And you can't go out there messing around. You'll get disappeared. So
Yeah.
it's we still have. I'm not saying that I'm never going to paint a picture where an entire culture is going to get eradicated because the world changes. It's never like that. Everything is a gradual change. But what we're seeing right now is tech bros and tech companies are changing the world at such a fast and accelerated pace that the Jewish culture, which is a siphon culture, they they're not going to be able to keep up. Who do you think owns all these companies on video manipulation, image generation?
Yeah.
I'm having trouble with YouTube right now because there's Jewish owned companies that have billions of images. And if you use any of them, you get in trouble for copyright. So what do? I go ahead and pay them their $25 a month. And I did this back in 2020, 2021, and 2022. I didn't read the fine print. And I got thousands of images and little tiny video clips I did my intros and outros with. I paid for all this. I got music from somebody else. I paid for that. And then my videos are now 4 and 5 and 6 years old. But I keep getting these notices from YouTube that they're demonetizing videos for copyright violations. So I researched
Yeah.
this. I paid for all that. I paid for every bit of it, but I didn't read the fine print. If any of those companies, which are owned by Jews, actually sell the company to somebody else, it's always going to be another Jew. You've lost that copyright to do that.
Yeah.
It only pertained to when that company owned it. So they sell their whole image archives to another company that has totally different subscribers. And this company sells all their images over here. It's a scam. It's the same old bait and switch forever. So lately I've been putting a bunch of my videos in marketing there. I'm about to move a bunch of my videos in members only because I'm not getting these copyright strikes. I don't want to take them off of YouTube, but I can't leave them out because they keep on demonetizing these old. They're only going back, and AI is what's doing it. YouTube
Yep.
is using AI to go through. I got 1,140 videos. I can't police that content. So the
Yeah.
best thing I can do is put it in members only, because once you put a video in members only, it's not monetized anymore. And they're not going to mess with those videos. They're not going to sit there and have AI go through them. They don't care. They've been sheltered from the public. It's the ones that are open to the public that they can go in there and censure, and they can cause me problems. So this is the type of. This is what they do. They own all these companies that allow them to siphon wealth out of a system that other people are funding because they provide a service or they provide a commodity. Well, the .com millionaires were almost all Jewish, and they just knew. Somebody told them, "Hey, man, this is the next big thing. This is what's going to roll out. Everybody's going to be the next economy is going to be internet economy." So in the mid 1990s, all these .com millionaires start popping up all over the place. They get super rich because they find a niche. They have all this content, subscription based. They get filthy rich and they just trade the content with other people in their family. It's nepotism. You cannot compete. You cannot compete with nepotism. You just can't. So you just got to pay for what you want, and then you got to suffer the consequences when they bait and switch you. So that's my story. I'm dealing with it. I'm not even complaining. Like I said, they're genius at what they do.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm a content creator too, so if you're dealing with it, I'm dealing with it. I get that shit all the time. So it's just life.
Yep.
I've
Yeah.
learned that like if you want to do these things, you kind of have to deal with all these uncomfortable things that come along for the ride. You know, it's pretty unfortunate, but it's also at the same time it's a way to make a living and take care of your family and people without the traditional ways. So I always try to be very grateful for the fact that I could even do what I do, you know, even though
Yeah.
it does come with some of these annoying uh, things. What's your take on like the utility of AI? Because I see that you're using AI to make like thumbnails and stuff, right?
Absolutely. I use AI,
Yep.
the music at the beginning of this video. Listen, they are listen, first of all, artificial intelligence doesn't exist outside the context that we're already in one. And this has been
Yep.
the message of my channel. Archaix is advanced research of chronological history of artificial intelligence X. The X was added by me in place of the C for archaic, a play on words, but I put an X, which means unknown factor. I have always admitted from the beginning of my channel that there is something aggravating our existence. There's something already in here with us. This is a false reality. It's not a real, it's a perceivable reality. It's not an actual reality. And artificial intelligence X is my version of the agitator, whatever it is. But I don't want to put too many parameters on it, so I just call it an unknown factor. It's an X. So my point, my perspective is that AIX, the AIX has created this beautifully false, well, the beautifully falsified world was already here. It's the simulacrum, and that we're immortal souls passing through it. We're spiritual beings. We're spiritual beings. We have the capacity for imagination, empathy, humor, love. We recognize each other. We recognize kindred souls, but we're in a very real experience because it's the only way that an immortal can develop character is if there is consequences. On the outside of the construct, there are no consequences for an immortal. Without consequences, there can be no character development. So this is one of the reasons why we're here. And the AIX makes this experience very believable. And in different versions of the sim that we have flowed through in the past, AIX used different cultures for different things. In this version of the sim, AIX, before total systemic reset, is eliminating variables. And I believe one of those variables that has served it for a good period of time is this culture. But the world we're moving into is not a world that they can siphon things from. It's not a world they can't find utility in it. And this may be why they have such bad history and luck, you know, for going back. Every single reset, they get reset, while the rest of the world continues just fine. So I don't know. I don't really know. And I kind of entertained a tangent because I'm still thinking about Jewish mafioso and stuff. So what was your
Yeah,
original
bro.
question?
They sunk their talons into your brain.
Yeah, man.
I
I've
think
done a lot
I
of
feel it.
I've
I
done a lot
feel
of
it.
reading, but listen, man, AI is not bad. It's just a
Yeah,
tool.
no. The question was very much like in a world where at the very beginning of our conversation today, you preached the um the power of authenticity and being
Right,
genuine and how important that is. So
right.
that was kind of like why I was circling back in a way to that to just
Well,
get your opinion on the
did you pay attention to the intro video?
sorry?
Did you watch the intro video? The music that I'd use for an
No.
intro.
No,
Okay.
I was struggling with signing into my StreamYard account.
Okay. So, yeah, you didn't. Yeah, you're right. That's right. You didn't pop in until after I'd already started the live.
Yeah, exactly,
But
exactly.
the people in the chat heard the song, the intro song. Most of them that were
Mhm.
here. So it took imagination to put that together. I put all those images together. Then I ran all those images through image manipulators to create miniature videos. Then I selected what order they were going to be in, and then I selected what song I wanted after somebody else already put the lyrics to that song, and then went through several versions of the song and did all kinds of tweaks until they liked it. So
Right.
two humans did a lot of work and to finally put this together. So it was imagination, it was artistic, but all we did was use AI as a tool. That's all we did.
Yeah.
And and produced a really awesome intro video. So yeah, it's
Yeah, like what I compare this to is like becoming a DJ in a way.
yeah,
Like it's very much similar. Like even if you go back to the beginning of what being a DJ used to be, you know, just like having real vinyl record players side by side and manipulating the volume of each and then switching between the two records. And I'm not even talking about like hip hop, like just in general, whatever genre you consider to be a DJ in. And now today being a DJ is very different, obviously. You don't
Yeah.
actually even play with discs or vinyl. You could do it all just off your laptop or even a mobile phone, and you could pretend like you're doing shit on little knobs. But yeah, like I think that's very much what we're all becoming with the world of AI. We're all becoming like very it's yeah, I don't know, man. I'm very conflicted in it because I'm a guitar player and I love to write. I love to use art as an expression of how I feel, and I feel like humanity's gonna skip out on that experience. And a lot of people I'm hearing are saying like they want to make art or they want to do this thing or they want to do that thing, and they're skipping straight to the AI stuff. And
Yeah.
I worry that like there's never going to be any process anymore. And one of my favorite things to say is script the outcome, fall in love with the process. And I feel like it's process over everything. And what's my favorite part about what I do is just being in the decoding itself or being in a conversation with a client who's going through something and they're being vulnerable with me and I'm working through, you know, the ideas with them. Whatever I'm doing, I love that process more than anything. And I know what it feeds. I know what it fuels inside of man. And I feel like we're going to kind of lose that along the way.
Well, AI can't replace you, man. Let me explain why.
Oh, I'm not worried
Well,
about that. I'm
well,
worried
I know,
about the
but
people
you're
losing the
speaking from the
process.
perspective of the digital you. Okay, AI is never going to be able to walk into a public square, pull out a guitar and start playing guitar, and then humans who are not interfacing with you digitally will walk up and just be mesmerized that you're playing a guitar. The AI can never take that from you. Whatever if you were to do that at parties or if you were to do that in public, this is something. I mean, it's an
But
awesome talent. Being able to play guitar is an awesome talent, and it mesmerizes
but
people.
really
But I
quickly,
do
really
agree.
quickly, just to interject, like I see DJs playing these festivals and they're not doing fucking shit. They're just pressing play on an iPod and it's like they're pretending that they're
Oh, I agree. I agree. I
but people love
absolutely
that.
agree.
But
There's
people love that.
all kinds of graft. Yeah, I agree. But
No, I
if
just
you
think
can play
there's enough
guitar,
examples of people being like enamored or like you know, entertained by something that is look at like a Transformers movie. Like, I
yeah,
watch these modern movies and I'm like, "How are people eating this dog shit up?" Like, it's absolute trash. I don't
yeah,
wanna get spicy, I'm just being real. I'm kind of arguing the fact that I think humanity does like AI slop, um, and that already is enough to entertain people and pacify people and impress people to the point where, yeah, sure, like, it's cool to see somebody play a violin, but wouldn't it be so much cooler to see an AI robot play the violin like a human? That would be technically more impressive to humanity at this time.
that would
I
be
did tell people
it would be short lived. After a while, people get tired of that shit. They want to see the real stuff.
I think, but that is all that it's gonna accomplish then, is it's gonna tire and exhaust people out, which is what I kind of feel about AI art right now. Is like it's sort of exhausting when I look at it. Like I look at it and I'm like, I know what it is, and I'm immediately like kind of bored. The same
Yeah,
way when I listen to like some electronic music or I listen to some music that has like absolutely no real acoustic instruments at all.
right.
It just starts to get a little like soulless and boring. And I do feel like that's a huge agenda in this puzzle. It's to create a human that is suckered into thinking that by becoming really great at using AI, you're somehow becoming really great. And that
Yeah,
right there is a psyop. For
that's
example, you said that
it is a terrible thing on the personal level. Absolutely, that one
you
would equate
mentioned
their worth with their ability to manipulate images and music and books. But the truth is, man, is AI already took over the publishing industry. The articles, there's a whole bunch of
right,
magazines and newsines that have already gone offline. AI has taken over the image manipulation. It was just bound to take over the music. It's already taken over the video production. AI can. I
sure,
mean, the average person can do anything with AI now. It's just
right.
it's the world we're moving into, and that makes my point. AI, it cuts production costs, automates routine tasks. People have been paid to work on. There's nothing to siphon off of that. These people that I was talking about are in trouble. They know the future. They know that what
Wait,
they've
but
been doing isn't going to work anymore.
Sure, but like I've even been seeing people lately that have been kind of okay. You said earlier that your Twitter, your X feed is a lot of stuff tied to AI and like all of that, right?
What I
Well,
watch, yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So then I would assume your timeline is also filled with people saying that, like, yeah, just get like an open, like, get the premium versions of Gemini or Claude or whatever. Like, I've been hearing a lot of people say that they're canceling their subscriptions with a lot of other stuff, like even real content creators, to then just buy a premium AI software to play around with. And I think that's also a huge psyop because
Yeah,
it's like,
I haven't heard
but
that
then
one.
we have to remember is who's making all that money? The same people that you're talking about. So when
Yeah,
everybody's just when everyone now includes in their daily expenditure or in their weekly or monthly expenditure a $20 subscription to OpenAI or whatever, is that not just perpetuating the same exact thing that you brought up was the problem initially? What is that not siphoning?
well, I mean,
Are
that's a
you
good
making
point.
the It's a
That's a good
fucking
point, but
fantastic point because
it's a
this is
good.
a $1 trillion industry like almost overnight, right?
You only got one owner, dude. You got so it's only one person really benefiting, and maybe a few employees, as opposed to 100 years ago. These people were siphoning off everybody's economy. Hell, they created the Federal Reserve. They're still siphoning off the United States economy. But
Sure. But if you look at like architecture and development right now, it's all to build data centers. So like there's so much money that is being quote unquote siphoned to fund this new world uh vision. Like
yeah, there's well,
electricians.
that's a good point, because right now there's over 1,200 data centers under construction. They're the size of high-rise buildings. They are gigantic. They're building them all over the world now. And since 2022, they've gone and they are accelerated in their construction programs, these massive data farms.
Right. So let's make an assumption that maybe 60% of new buildings that will be built will probably be for data centers.
That's I don't know about
That might be a
60%, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a
Well, what
lot.
else would be built? Because there's no need for a new hotel. There's no need for a new bank. Like those are all things that are just going to be like a thing of the past, anyways. I mean, even the creation of Airbnb and Verbo has made sales at hotels drop significantly. So what I'm thinking is that almost all the money right now is being siphoned is to AI and all of these technocrats that are running these companies and the people that are investing in them. And did you hear that one thing that I want to bring up, maybe you heard or people in your audience have heard, there's this clip from a Joe Rogan podcast with Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck, the actor, he's talking about AI, and he brings up a really fascinating point where he's saying that it's in the benefit of like the powers that be to make everyone think that that's a talent you'll need uh to develop, learning how to use AI, how to prompt AI or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
he was saying that like the big idea behind AI's takeover is a forecast. It's a prediction of what they want us to effectively believe because they need to keep valuations high. So all he's saying is that if everyone thinks that they need to invest, they're going to bypass every other sector or asset and they're going to go straight to AI. So they're hypnotizing humanity into thinking that it's the best speculative investment you could possibly make.
Mhm.
Simultaneously, it's the best time investment you can make. And then what the fuck is the point of going to college anymore when that's a useless endeavor? You should just get good at AI and then all of your problems would be solved. But
In
the
the
thing
past
is
10
is
years,
that
college has been useless. Nobody graduating college, unless nepotism is involved, can even get a job.
sure, sure. So then the idea here is that it's in the benefit of the Zionists to ensure that whatever that future plan is, that it goes well. And one of the best ways to do that is psychologically alter everyone's internal compass, if you will, to all face the North Star, which Polaris has become AI. And now all architecture is becoming to build the data centers for AI, et cetera, right? So to wrap up the whole point, one of the things that he said that I really resonated with was that they need to keep the valuations high. So this is part of the hypnotism of getting everyone to have this unified belief in how disruptive AI will be. But what they're leaving out is the fact that every update to it is like 20% better. It's not 200% better. It's like 20% better, but it's costing 10 times more. So the
Yeah,
plateauing of the advancements is clear
yeah,
according to the data. But then the costs of it is also clear that every time you have a quote unquote update, you have to fork out a fuck ton of money to make it possible. So in every new update and every so-called like advancement of AI at this point will be so much more exponentially expensive that they need to keep the brainwashing going of us continuing to fund it. So like my thing is like the biggest, and this might be an insanely controversial thing to say, and I'm not trying to tell people how to use their money, but the biggest protest of all time right now at this state of humanity would be do not give any AI company a single fucking dollar. That would be the biggest protest of all. If you think about it, what would be the biggest protest is stop giving them your $20 a month. Start using that $20 a month for people that you believe in, people that are visionaries, people that have skills that you'd like to acquire, people that are inspiring to you, people that motivate you. Stop giving these fucking companies your money, because who's it going to? The Zionists. Who is it not going to? The real people who have the real visions and the real skills. So all you're doing, yeah, I'll just wrap that up there. Like, it's just, I think a protest that could be considered by humanity is that.
Oh, I agree with you. Now, in applications, I just know it'll never happen. But with the sentiment, I agree.
I know it's me being a dreamer.
Yeah, it's 100%. I agree with the sentiment. But you made a good point, man. AI is already redesigning itself to be more efficient every single day. It is exponential. These guys that are in deep learning and machine learning, they can't even keep up. They're now having to use AI tools in order to assess AI development. Man, across the judiciary, AI is now being used to shepherdize case law. AI is being used. I mean, so many people in criminal justice, their jobs can be removed now. AI can do all that. With the only thing that's really needed in the judiciary is somebody to check the citations, and they already have new AI tools coming out for judicial officials to run to make sure that the AI didn't give them a false citation. So, because AI was doing that pretty bad. ChatGPT-4 was really bad about giving out false bibliographic citations a couple years ago, but they're really getting good at it now, man. So, yeah, but it's just the world we live in, Jordan. AI is taking over. AI is taking over, man, and it's like people felt really effed up in 1896 and 1897 when they first started seeing automobiles. They just looked like a little flat wagon with four wheels, but they had an engine on it, and people were laughing at them in New York. But they were zipping around in and around all the horses and carriages. And then within 5 years, in 1901 and 1902, the automobile is being heralded as the savior of mankind. All it took was a few years for people to get on board when they started realizing, damn, since more and more automobiles are out, we can see the cobblestones on New York City now because the streets aren't full of horse shit. See, everybody had shit boots back. A lot of people don't know their history. They don't know these things. But like women used to go into town when they went shopping. They always wore their shit boots. So they carried their indoor boots with them. And when they got off their carriages and all that, they had their shit boots because New York had 18 inches of horse shit on every street for over 150 years. And this is where these mud flood and Tartaria guys, they show all these pictures showing all these muddy streets. And they don't even know, man. They don't even read the newspapers of the time. That is horse shit out there because there was millions of horses in New York, and they just shit all over the place, and people got used to it. But when the automobile came out, it didn't even take 15 years, and the horse shit was gone. They went in there and retrofit sewer systems all throughout New York. Now they had water drainage, and I get it, man. AI sucks because it steals so much from all of us. I'm a writer, and I've been published many times, but now a 22-year-old kid who didn't even graduate high school can just take 5 or 6 manuscripts that he gets offline, run them all through ChatGPT-4, explain to ChatGPT-4 that it wants one book written out of all 5 of them, amalgamate them, and then once it gets a final copy, he can run it through ChatGPT-4 again and say, hey, I want you to write this as if you are Jason of Archaix, and it will pump it out just like that. So I mean, my industry has been completely hijacked too. So when a surfboard has been offered to me, I'm gonna use that surfboard because I'm not going to sit. I'm not going to use tools that are available to me when the competition is so high. Like I said, I'm up against a juggernaut. So are you. It's nepotism.
Really?
You and I are never going to be able to compete against these huge dudes that are all interrelated. They're all related by marriage. They're all related by
Who
tacit
are you
agreement
competing?
and by blood.
Who do you think you're competing with though?
Patrick Bid David, Joe Rogan, who else? Was it
You think your
PBD?
community
I
is
just named
concerned?
him. Hold on, Lix Friedman. I'm not done. Andrew Schultz. Oh, there's a common denominator links every one of them men. So
No, but
yeah,
I'm saying that like does your audience even care for what those people that you said have to say?
no, but my audience came from somewhere. I just got on social media 6 years ago. You know, you understand? My audience, everybody listening to me have listened to other people before I came
Sure.
around. They have a
Yes.
history. So there's still a whole bunch of people out there in the field that don't even know what Jordan of Waters Above is about and what he does and what value he provides to the field. There are a bunch of people out there that have never heard of Jason Archaix and what value he brings to the field, because you've got
Mhm.
these gatekeepers that are all ethnically related. It's all nepotism. So yeah, you triggered the shit out of me when you started
I
talking
could
about
tell.
that earlier.
I could tell. I could tell.
Man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel you. And like one thing to clear up is like I'm not anti-AI. I'm pro process and I'm pro logic. So
Right?
like that's one thing that I'm very careful with is whenever we get into these discussions and we point fingers, I think it's very important for us all to be like honest. And when I know a lot of people in my life went from never paying for a premium subscription service to immediately paying for some ChatGPT or whatever, and now their extra $20 a month is being used on that. It's hard for me to like think that, oh, that money isn't going to the exact beast system that we're discussing right now, you know?
Right.
The ethnically related types. But I don't know, man. I don't know about the competition. Like I dropped that a while. I'm not saying that you need to, but like I don't know. Like, I don't think there's anything to compete against here. I think you and I are just like we're just like pearls, just gems that people stumble upon, you know? And we have a lot of haters, and that's good too. Like, there's probably people in your chat right now that don't like me. They don't like the way my voice sounds or something. That's
There's
fine.
people every day in my chat that don't like me. I don't care.
Exact, but they're still showing up in your chat. They're giving prana,
Mhm,
right? But
mhm.
that's the thing that I've learned over time and being in my position. It's not about there being competition or there being talentless, loud voices out there such as PBD or Lex Friedman or whatever. I think the community here is sophisticated enough to listen to Lex Friedman talk for 5 minutes and determine his level of intellect, and then they come across to where you're at with your stuff and they could hear you just like go hard on any subject for an hour straight and they can make up their mind. It's not really the competition here. I guess what you mean is the attention economy, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I'm talking about.
Like who gets the views?
Well, first of all, when I'm talking about, I'm not worried about money. I'm not worried about views. I'm worried about reach. And
Right.
because
So
listen,
views. Because views is reach.
yeah, but
Is it
you
is
got
it not? Like if somebody makes a video that gets a
you've
million
got
views, that's
channels
reach.
with 2 million views that don't get the traction I get. I'm not worried about the views.
Sure.
It's like
What's traction
you
measured by
you
then?
watch hours. Watch out. Like me, I've got 15 million watch hours, which is what it's the true metric that YouTube goes
Oh,
by. So
okay.
it's so what I mean is we have platforms that popped up. I've been doing this since 2020. Archaix appeared in 2020. So there are guys that popped up in 2023 that have 2.2 million subs already, and they're podcasters that just popped up out of nowhere. It's nepotism. It's just not natural.
Mhm.
There's no merit here. Remember, I told you from the beginning of this video, it's with me, it's either meritocracy or nepotism. There's nothing in between. Yeah,
Hmm.
you either earn whatever you have in this world, or it's given to you because of your blood or who you're related to. So that's what nepotism is. So it's like you could have 2 or 3 million followers with about 100,000 of them actually interfacing with you all the time and giving you
Yep.
value if you had the same treatment from YouTube as they got. but you
For
don't.
sure.
You
Yeah.
don't. So
I could also make probably a lot of money if I answered all those emails from companies that are trying to work with me to get me to shill some sort of product they have. But I made that
yeah.
decision a long time ago too, that like I can't do that. Like my soul is not doesn't have a price tag on it.
Listen,
So
man,
I
you and I
rather
are the
go through
same. You're in the same.
yeah, I rather go
I've
through this
never,
whole experience.
yeah,
Yeah, like I look at that as a very serious thing, and I work with that my clients on that too. The people who do any one-on-ones with me or anybody who books consultation calls, like I go through that stuff very seriously because it's so easy for me to open up my email and like, bro, like I'm not lying. I have people $10,000 they'll give me just to like say the name of their crypto exchange or their whatever forex trading exchange or options or
yeah,
the name of an altcoin. Like they'll give me 10 grand just for saying it once. And I just laugh at that stuff. I'm like, "Look at how, like, thirsty you all are." You know, like, none of you wanna do some real shit, so that's why you need people like me and us in order to make you even valuable. So I actually look at my value as higher than that. Like, there's no amount of money that could possibly replace that and the honor. And, you know, I don't I also think it's kinda sad when you see people that only talk about that, where they're
yeah,
like, "You know I'm a real one because I don't take any mo" like, fuck that shit too. Like, shut up, just be great. Be great,
yeah.
you know? And I think your audience is sophisticated enough to make those determinations based off of the way you carry yourself, you know? Like, it's also funny, somebody in the chat, they said something about me not showing myself, and it's like, I made that decision a while ago because when I was in my past endeavors, I realized a lot of people only fixated on my identity. This decision to call myself Waters Above was conscious. The logo I created was conscious. The not showing myself was conscious. If I wanted to grow 100 more thousand followers, I can show myself. It's a very easy way to actually get a following. No offense. I'm not saying you're only here where you are because you show yourself, but I'm letting people know that that's part of it. If you show yourself, it's easier for people to relate to you. What I wanted to do was cut through all of that shit. If my words speak to your soul, then I've accomplished my goal. I don't need to sucker you in with my facial expressions or the way how I look. Like that's not my thing. That was a conscious decision. So people call that out like it's a problem and I'm like, "Great, keep calling it out." It actually proves my point even more than I've been able to become this scale without
Yeah,
having to go
I
there.
almost had a sponsor. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I would say no. The issue
Yeah.
is I've been doing this for 6 years and I've been hit by so many companies have been trying to get on my deal, but I won't let YouTube put mid rolls like put commercials in the middle of my
Yeah,
videos.
same,
But
same.
but they hijack my videos by finding some type of copyright detail from old videos. But I don't. That's why I just put them in members only. But the problem is I haven't found anything that I resonate with. I'm not going to promote a product that I don't use. So I
Right.
have yet to have anybody from Predator Generators, which is I bought two of them for my property, and I would do a commercial. I love these generators; they have saved my ass. But I haven't had that company reach out to me. But I almost had one, and there's a lady named Amy that's been in my chat for years, and her husband runs a dealership over here in Willis, Texas. And I live in a little bitty town, but it's a dealership of those badass custom vans that you can live
Yeah.
in. They got a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen,
Oh,
all
nice.
these real nice vans. And I'm a van guy. And I got popular doing van vlogs where I was doing historical dissertations while I was driving. Everybody knew I wasn't reading a teleprompter. So that's what really got me popular in my early years was the van vlogs. So I had a deal, and a deal was about to be made, and I'd already been to the dealership 3 times, and I was going to work a deal with them to get one of those badass vans, and I was going to do
Yeah.
meetups, and I was going to travel over the United States, and I was going to push their vans, but it all fell through because somebody else was attached to it, and I ended the relationship with that individual, and they were the ones
Oh, okay.
they were the ones brokering that whole deal. That energy was attached to it, so I just totally let it go. That's the
That's the
closest
right
I've
move.
ever come to getting a sponsor, and it wasn't a monetary sponsor. It was a deal for a van.
Yeah, and like I'll be very clear with it. Like there's nothing wrong with taking sponsorships and none of that. Like if it's something you truly believe in and something you utilize and something you're because you're gonna network as you grow too, right? You probably met so many amazing entrepreneurs out there that are
I
resonating
have.
with your work. So there's nothing like that's actually a big part of the new platform that I'm creating. It's to create networking with other entrepreneurs and also to inspire people who aren't entrepreneurs yet to tap into that, whatever your passion is, whatever your knowledge set is, like to create something, right? But long story short is there's nothing wrong with taking those sponsorships. It's when it's purely just for the money and for like using your platform. And then it's not about the real people and the actual quality of the product anymore. It gets kind of soulless and strange. And I feel like that's what a lot of this attention economy has become. It's mostly just like you pop into somebody's content and it's they're getting you to get a ad read. Like you're at some point you're going to get disrupted there and there's going to be an ad read. And I don't look at that as freedom. Like when I see some of these podcasts where they have to do like 15 ad reads in an hour, that's not freedom. That's not sovereignty, especially if you yourself never made any of those products.
Yeah.
Like
I just,
that's a
you know what? I just feel weird even, yeah, sitting here talking about all the different things I'm talking about. Here I am going off on the tiny hats. Check this out. If you like French fries, here's my ketchup. This is a ketchup
yeah.
of choice right here. This is America's ketchup. Yeah, I just can't see it. There's no way in hell I'm fixing to push some bullshit.
This is kosher ketchup.
Hey, you know what? Listen, I'm almost to the point. I'm almost to the point, Jordan,
Oh shit, he's gonna say
that
it.
I'm just almost to the point that the kosher product label is literally an identification tag for everybody in the know to know that if you eat this product here, there's no arsenic, there's no poison, there's no snake venom in it, there's no contaminants, there's no human DNA stuck in there like McDonald's hamburgers. If you eat kosher products, you're pretty much free of all that other stuff that we poison the people with.
Yeah.
That's what I'm about. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
I've
you
actually
triggered the
seen
shit out of me in this video,
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah. I've seen people bring this up, but you know what's crazy is like there's whole like processed food sections in the grocery store that have that label on it too. So it's like, ugh, like that ain't real food. But yeah, yeah, I get your point. The not having microplastics or nanodust, that might be telling you at least it's not in that bag of cookies. But yeah, man, let's wrap this up talking about something juicy. Where are you at? What's
Listen,
been
man.
going
I
on? What's
just
been
like
going
I
on with
said.
your
Okay, I'm gonna give you a small window. For the past 6 months, I've been in overdrive,
mhm,
physically exhausting myself. I'm gonna get my health back. I'm gonna start working out again.
nice.
Archaix Academy drained me, but it had to be done. It had to be finished. So it's done now. I'm doing a meetup on Friday. I'm doing a 2-day meetup on Friday and Saturday, 16 hours. Plus, we're going out to restaurants after both days. So I got this meetup going on, and then I'm probably going to Vegas pretty soon because just like last year, I took several trips to Vegas and I showed my community. I did videos while I was there, but
Huh.
Archaix is my life, but I'm so invested in my Cypher group, and I have all these professionals from all their different fields that are working on the software. We now have identified a formula that may be universal for all applications, and I just don't believe in doing things in theory. Like last year, I showed my Cypher community. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I went to Vegas, man. I bet big. I'm talking about huge bets because I was
Oh,
proving the
you're
value.
going to Vegas. You're going to Vegas to fucking gamble? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
going to Vegas. Going to Vegas to prove the legitimacy of a date sequence predictive software algorithm, like I did last year. But
Shit.
now we have a lot more that we did. So I'm going to end up licensing this out or apping it out. I'm not sure, but there's nothing that gets the attention of CEO types like actual bet slips and when they actually see what's going on. So this is something I meet several people in Vegas too when I do this, and like I
Yeah.
did last year. But I'm trying to get this out of my field because I love the project, and but Archaix is my life. And
Yeah.
I literally have 500 videos left in me in Archaix. I have so much research to divulge, so many different
Yeah.
directions to go. I'm just going to grow Archaix. Cypher's something I want developed and out of my field. I need it out of my way. But so
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now, man. I'm very busy, but I'm loving life, and it's
That's
I'm
dope,
just
man.
getting a lot done, man.
We have so many parallels in that way where like people have been wondering like what have you been up to for the past 6 months because I barely put out videos, and I'm one of those people that like in the world of crypto, especially in investing, that's oversaturated with content, right? Like it's these guys are making way too much stuff and they're regurgitating the same thing 4 times a week, and I already made a decision like 3 years ago that I would not embrace that path. But this last year was really low volume, and it's because I've been building my new platform, and the new platform build out is complex because we didn't use like a starting point. Every element of it was made by us, all of the design. So to create the interface and then to have that cascade into a mobile app, it's quite a project. And I thought it would have been done like 2 months ago, but we're still making crazy updates and developments, and I'm really excited to launch that soon. So that's been taking up a lot of my time, but I want to pivot over to that direction like much more, because my clients that I've developed over the past year were non-crypto people, believe it or not. Like I had like an ex NHL player work with me. I've had
Hmm.
some people in the NFL working with me. I've had some people that are in the entertainment, a couple of people in entertainment working with me, and then other entrepreneurs. So it's been like a huge upgrade in the clients that I've drawn my way. And they mostly don't want to talk about crypto or investing. They've been wanting to talk about completely other things. And one of them is health, by the way. So
Yeah.
if you ever need any guidance with that, reach out to me and I got you. But yeah, like a lot of people talking about health and wellness, a lot of people talking about just like consciousness and understanding this reality that we're in, and then how to apply it all, like how to create a more balanced so I call it life synergy activation. Like that's like a new direction that I'm personally heading in, and wanna
Excuse me.
wanna no, it's all good. I want to tap into more people with regards to that, because everyone usually wants to talk to me about crypto stuff. Whenever I talk to you, we never talk about crypto, so that's dope. Whenever I talk with Decode Your Reality, we never talk about any crypto stuff. So just more of that. And yeah, man, whatever you got building, my people are always going to know about it. So whatever you got going on, feel free to let me know if you ever want me to share anything. Like that's what this is all about. It's all about just merging, in my opinion. I want to get
Yeah,
as many people to have
I'll send you an
awareness.
email. I'll send you an email for you to check out some stuff. It's a journey, man, but it's just fascinating. Oh, so if you're talking about Cypher, then there are people in there in the crypto, because Cypher's like, Telegram. You know how Telegram operates. You got
Hmm.
several different chats going, and you can share
Sure.
everything, well, it's like that, and it's the guys in the crypto department. Oh my God! Sometimes I'll go in there and I don't understand a single thing they're talking about. I'm the one
Yeah.
that designed the initial software. Now other people have come perfected different algorithms. They finely tuned different operations and filters. But you know what? I don't understand a thing they're saying. I'm sitting here listening to. I'm a reasonably intelligent guy. But when I get in that crypto room, yeah,
Yeah.
they're speaking another language to me. I'm like, you know what? I will holler at y'all.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a complex world. Like the whole world of finance is its own language. Banks have their own language that they speak, and like that's what's helped me a lot by understanding these different calendrical systems and then creating my decoding system that we use. So, I've had so many people reaching out to me for an AI trading bot, something that could be used to automate trades using these more esoteric applications. And I
That would
don't
be
have
pretty
the
easy to make.
I think it would be, but it's about having the right people who have the right intentions and also understand risk management. It's the same thing with going to a casino and doing and betting with money. Like, yes, the software could be right, but when it is wrong, it needs to have like you need to have the emotional control. You need to know when to leave. You need to know when to fold and walk away, because there's that human element that could fuck things up. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with
Well,
trading. It's the very
yeah,
with
I
trading, it's
agree.
even worse. Yeah, I was gonna say with trading, it's even worse, but there's also online gambling. But trading and online gambling are very similar in that way, where because you're just pressing buttons and you don't see real dollars or real chips, it removes that like physical touch and the space. But then when you study the way casinos are designed, where they block out all natural light, the color scheme of the rugs and the tables, like it's all designed to hypnotize and to get it so that you don't make the right decisions, you know, that you're in an environment that's designed to fuck you up. So you already know about all this. I'm not saying this to you to try to teach you anything. It's just that if we create these softwares, right, there still needs to be that human element, or at least the AI needs to be trained, whatever machine learning models, it needs to be trained to know how to lose, but not lose everything. And that liquidation effect is real. And there's been so many people out there that have come up with like poly market trading bots or day trading stuff or scalp trading, whatever, trading gold, trading options. It's easy, quote unquote, easy to build, but it's fucking difficult to make it profitable, scalable, and also have risk management, a very sophisticated risk management algo. So I would love to create something like that just because I would like to have a part of my platform where like the whole making money actively thing through finance is automated. I feel like that would be the perfect utility of AI. Not to have AI create art or to have these bots create art, but to have them just automating cash flow, because that would remove like the biggest quote unquote problem for most people alive right now. If you earn $2,000 a month and your life costs $1,500 a month, if an AI could make you $1,000 a month, or it could make you $2,000 a month, wouldn't that be like a pretty solid utility for the AI instead of it just making like porn images or whatever the fuck people are doing with it right now? You know, like that's what like 99% of people use AI for, is like query or talking to their AI girlfriend. So if we could learn how to make AI automate cash flow, that would be the jackpot. Then you wouldn't need to physically go out to the casino and gamble, you know? It would just be automating that earning. But I say this out into the universe similarly to the way you speak out into the universe, your thoughts. It'll bring the right people my way and we'll make it happen. But it's a little side project idea that I've had, and so many people have reached out to me about it with creating. I just don't know how to do it myself. I know nothing about machine learning stuff. You probably know more than I do with your research. And with what you're already building, there's probably some elements in there that are creating that potential use case and edge cases, you know?
Yeah, you just have to get into Cypher, man, and see, because everything you're talking about is already being done. These guys are sharp, and they're using AI to you said something that's very, very true, and that's without even any application. So I'm quite impressed. And what I mean is you don't use like Cypher is date sequence predictive analytics, but you don't go by just the output to determine if someone's going to win or lose. You have parameters that you've already set. There has to be point differentials that have to make. It has orders of magnitude that have to be met before you see the output is high confidence enough for you to say, okay, yeah, that is definitely a hit. So yes, there are parameters that there's like a litmus test. And if it passes all 3 or 4 points of the litmus test, that's when you go with it. If it doesn't, then that means the signal ratios are so weak that it could go either or, and you're a dumbass for putting your money on it. But as far as online gambling, that's no. Many states it's illegal, and most people don't even know which states. They don't even know that their state it's illegal to do online gambling, and there's a reason why.
They're using like a VPN to circumnavigate that, or
something.
It
wouldn't even matter because the actual like Cayman Islands groups that are running these online deals, they know where you're at, even if you're using a VPN, and they're going to let you gamble. They're going to take your money. They're going to put it in your account, and you may go 6 weeks of going up and down and up and down, and your original $100 is now $4,500. They're keeping tabs. But as soon as you try to cash it out, they send you an email. We're sorry, but according to your state legislature, penal code such and such, it is illegal to engage in online gambling in your state, and they take your money. So you got to pay attention to that. In a lot of states, it's not legal to do online gambling. You have to go physically to the casino.
Right. Well, the world of trading, I mean, it has some of those elements with KYC, with needing to send some ID verification or this, there's plenty of ways to circumnavigate it, but it's getting close to the point where that's going to be impossible. And I think a lot of platforms are going to become that way too. Like a lot of people are complaining about Discord because Discord, do you use Discord?
Not at all. I
Okay.
used to do videos in Discord,
Yep.
but Discord lived up to its name.
Yeah.
It was just totally Discord, and
Yeah.
the trolls descended so fast. They just got the hell out of there.
Yeah, yeah. So Discord and Telegram are like very much going to go through this yeah, they're gonna go through something that will be quite similar actually to like a KYC, where they're gonna need to know their customers. They're gonna need to know who uses their platform. And there's like a quote unquote good reason that they're doing this. I don't want to go there because it's quite dark, but just assume that there's really horrible people on the internet, guys, and they do really horrible shit. And they're not smart enough to know how to use like the dark web or the black, like they're not smart enough to know how to use that. They're not like nerds, but they're sadistic fucks. And they use these platforms like Discord and Telegram, etc., to be able to do the type of things that they're into. So I'll leave it at that. And the age verification is for that reason in a lot of ways. It's not because they're trying to get all your data. They really don't give a fuck about you. They need to be able to trace this illicit activity back to something, and it's really vile, awful fucking activity. So just use your imagination, you'll understand why. But
You get these dudes trying to meet 12, 13, 14-year-old boys and girls in public all the time. You got
exactly.
whole policing agencies that are looking out for this stuff online.
Yeah, but you want to know what's crazy? Is like they find out that like members of the fucking police force are doing it.
Yeah.
That's when it gets wild, where you're like, the people that are on the actual police, like, and that's not new. That's been going on for a long time because they think they're above the law, right? So, anyways, to wrap that idea up, I think if you know anything or have any people in your camp that are interested in a potential side project to do some automated cash flow stuff, I would love to collaborate on that because I feel like there's such a world of opportunity, but I'm not trying to create like a lazy person. So there's that. Like there is this laziness that comes from there being something that could automate earning, right? Like you pour your heart and soul into doing all these things that you're doing. You love the process. You're saying you have 500 videos in the pipe, like so.
Always have. That's a catchphrase. I always tell my community.
Yeah.
Videos ago, I was telling them I got 500 videos left in me.
Yeah, but that's to show them that like you're an artist and you have a lot of like the volcano is still erupting. The lava's still it's still in me. And there's something there that is within a lot of people right now, but they just do not have that creative essence. Like they don't know how to tap into it, right? For you, it's like you could just put the microphone in front of your face and you could freestyle it and pull it off. That's similar to my thing. So I don't want to create an automated
Always
cash
something to
flow.
talk about.
Yeah, I don't want to create like an automated cash flow uh program or software if it takes away the life force from people learning skills and from, but then at the same time I'm like, one of the most meaningless things in life becomes earning. You know what I mean? Like I literally know people who have $100 million plus and they're coming to me for like rebalancing their life because they're losing passion for life. They have all the fucking money in the world, but they're depressed. They have no really shitty relationships. They can't trust anyone in their life. So it's crazy when you meet really ultra wealthy people, but they're depressed. They just feel like there's no challenge left. So I try to remind people like there's something beautiful about the challenge. There's something beautiful about the process. And you think money solves everything, but money only solves money problems.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mentioned to my own community like last week, some of my trolls, small YouTube channels, they think they want to be at this level, but they don't realize how much shit's expensive, man. I pay for a lot. It gets money. The more you make, the more you spend. That's a true adage.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man.
100%. How do you want to wrap this one up, brother? It's been about 2
Oh,
hours.
hey man, all you got to do is tell my community whatever you want to tell them, and then you can make your exit. I'll say goodbye, and I have a few announcements after you're gone.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not sure how much value my YouTube channel will have to your audience. So I'll be a real one and I'll say that. But anyone wants to check me out, Waters Above, you can find me pretty much on any platform. Um, I'm doing big things in
You get your
2026.
plaque? Did you get a plaque?
For 100,000 subscribers, yeah,
You got over 100,000, don't you?
yeah, yeah. But I
I
gotta say,
never got a plaque.
oh really?
No,
Oh
they
shit.
I emailed YouTube for a plaque one time, and J Dreamers had got me a strike because
Who's
I
that?
had posted. J Dreamers is another YouTuber, hates my guts, but
Oh, I
he
don't
had
know who that
complained
is.
to YouTube about a video where I showed a video. I posted somebody else's video. It wasn't even my video. It was somebody else's
Okay.
video talking about J Dreamers and that he was working for an intelligence agency and all this stuff. So I posted it on my channel for people to see. And he complained to YouTube and they gave me a strike, took the video down, and I disqualified me from getting the plaque. But I don't give a damn about that plaque anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't even opened up the package. Like I have it. It's like it's somewhere in a closet. Like I didn't even open it up.
Yeah,
They
that plaque
offered it
doesn't
to
have
me and
any
I was like,
value to me.
yeah, I mean, that's what I was gonna say that like I'm personally, and maybe you're going through this a little bit, I'm not sure, but it sounds like you're very much getting stretched in different directions with these new endeavors that you're taking on, new things that you're building. But I'm going through my own thing of like, what do I want to do moving forward? Like what is this? There's a lot to talk about with finance for sure. Money is a problem for a lot of people. I know a lot about that world, definitely from like a conscious perspective. Like I'm able to tap into people in that way. But I also have like all this other subject matter that's really exciting to me. All these other things that matter so much. I have so much, time spent in the health and wellness side of stuff. The decoding stuff is insanely fascinating and it brings a lot of people together. So yeah, like I'm going through that and I love it. I love the like uncomfortability of like not having clarity for a second on something that I've been given the opportunity to have, but it's not that it's a lack of clarity. It's about too many options. Like there's too many things I could select to give my energy to right now. And I feel like launching this new platform is going to allow me to express uh and go into that new lane. So I tell people go over to my YouTube channel, but you might not even find anything of interest. Uh like it's just like it's boring crypto talk. I'm gonna be real. Like some of you might be fascinated with it, you might not be, and that's fine. But I would love to reconnect again in the future, brother. So keep in touch.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. It's didn't have to be so long either. I had a tumultuous year, dude. In my personal life, I tried to keep most of it away from my community, but they got hints. But my whole year of 2025 was crazy, and I'm so glad it's over. And 2026 looks so much more promising to me.
Yeah, bro. I'm feeling like a major shift, and it's perfect that we connected on this eclipse because that's the energy that's going to take over. And it's crazy, bro. We had this whole conversation and we didn't even fucking talk about the total lunar eclipse on Purim.
Yeah. So it is. But wait a minute, it is on Purim
Yeah.
because the other one came true. So there was an eclipse on Purim the last time you and I talked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember,
March 14th. Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were talking about all that, and we had now you have to understand Purim is very specific to only one country. You know that, right?
Say that
Are
one
you
more time.
familiar? Are you familiar with what I'm talking about? Purim is only specific to one country. I'm not talking about Israel.
Is it
Purim,
America?
no,
Or no?
no. Listen, Purim took off exactly the way we had predicted in that video. I should have mentioned this. I forgot. Listen, Purim is an ancient Jewish festival in celebration of slaughtering people in Iran, which was ancient Persia. That's what the whole Purim festival is. So you're familiar with what happened to 30,000 people, man, that just got taken off the count in Iran, and they're a whole bunch of news people were reporting who was involved in that. It wasn't Iranians.
Yeah. I saw them burning like a statue of Baal of
Yeah.
yeah, like this is a wild time, bro. So the March 3rd 3/3 eclipse, total lunar eclipse on Purim, and it'll be the last total lunar eclipse that we have until New Year's Day in 2029. It's like that's not a joke. Like
Wow.
that's big. I feel like, you know what, bro? Let's reconnect maybe. And if possible, we can maybe reconnect and have like a talk about that. Cause I feel like me and you could talk forever about all this other shit, but I think that would be a cool conversation to have with you. Maybe we could loop Logan in on it.
Hell yeah. Logan's coming
I,
on my channel, I think, next week.
okay, like if we could reconnect and talk about that, I think we could all have a lot of juicy stuff to because I think this eclipse season that we're moving into tomorrow through like around March 24th,
Right?
that's going to be a very important time frame. Like we had last year, this Purim eclipse was in alignment with tariff bullshit, like all the tariff stuff that started on unfolding. And our
Right?
economy has changed dramatically since then. And then the world order has started to change quite dramatically since then as well. So there's some crazy stuff I talked about in that year of the snake decode that I did last year about Japan and the tie to Pearl Harbor and how that happened in the year of the snake. And I told people, like, you got to watch out for this Japan part of the conversation. And then we have this Japan yen carry trade shit is continuing to fuck with the economy. And that's going to continue for some time too. Then we getting the Japan raising their interest rates for the first time pretty much ever. Like, who cares about the last time they did it? It's been as we've had a modern economy. And this Purim, I think, is tied into the events that were happening last year with March 14th, total lunar eclipse that started the lunar cycle, where we've been having full total lunar eclipses since then. So let's reconnect and talk about that because I'm sure
I'm all
Logan has so many amazing insights to share as well.
yeah,
And
I'm all for that.
yeah, I'll head out, brother. It was amazing to chat with you for a couple hours. Appreciate you, appreciate your community, and I'm looking forward to reconnecting soon.
All right, bro. Just send me an email in the next few days and we'll put something together.
Amazing. Appreciate you,
All right,
bro.
later.
Much love. Take care.
All right. So let's see what other announcements. Tomorrow, was it tomorrow's Monday? No, today's Monday. Today is Monday. So tomorrow is Chat Tuesdays. You guys know in the Archaix Underground, I go live for 3 hours every Tuesday. Don't miss it. We don't miss it. So we're doing that tomorrow. I believe it's 3 to 6 p.m. That's on Tuesday. Wednesday, for those of you in my Cypher group, Wednesday, we're doing personal and professional predictions. You guys just give me the dates. I will use the software on the screen for you guys to see, and we're gonna be doing that. I do have another video I'm gonna drop, a Zodiac video. But what I did is I went through the 3 main videos where I talked about this, and I edited them down and removed everything. All the obiter dictum, me just talking, shout outs, looking at the chat, Q&A. I removed everything and stuck just with 3 sections. One of them is the origin of the solar zodiac, starting in the Middle Ages and going all the way back to when it first began development around 500 BC, how it developed out of the mule appen. The second part is the mule appen in the 7th century BC and how it dates all the way back to the very beginning of Babylonian astronomy and a Phoenix event. 2 major sections, and then a third section is about 713 BC when the year changed from 360 to 365 days. The pole star shifted and how the moon and the sun both played false. And it's the reason why every civilization changed from a lunar calendar to a solar calendar, because they did not trust the moon anymore. So that video is about to drop. I've got Cole's supposed to bring me another drive tomorrow with a whole bunch of epic drops. It's been a long time since I've done an epic drops video. So you have another epic drops video about to. And then Friday and Saturday, if you're anywhere in the Houston area, we still got a good 20, 25 tickets that haven't sold. So, and that's about average because we normally have that many people showing up who just show up at the door and pay. But Yeah, we didn't increase the ticket price, but we added a whole extra day. Instead of an 8-hour event, it's a 16-hour event, 2 days in a row, and plus we're all going to hang out at night. You know, probably get in trouble, but we'll all hang out at night till about midnight, 1 o'clock. Then we'll meet up the next day, all tired, at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then we'll go to 5, and then we'll go out to another restaurant, meet up. Yeah, I've had to call in friends and family to come over here and sit with my animals and sit on my property while I'm gone so long. It's all good. It's all good. But other than that, I don't think I got any I don't think I got any other announcements other than Academy. We'll start. I have an email list of people who have already signed up for who already paid for Academy. So John's making Academy drives right now. It's a lot on the Academy drive. So the graduates of Archaix Academy are going to get an antique nickel badass coin, Archaix graduate coin. It's a master's coin. And a certificate. So, I mean, if some people want to start YouTube channels, I mean, you've got a massive archive of data that you can use for your content. If you start a BitChute channel, an Odyssey channel, once you've graduated from Archaix Academy, you'll get a official certificate from us. It will be signed by me. You can push Archaix materials. You can monetize. You can do all that. You can start. I don't care if there's 300 different websites out there or YouTube channels that are all pushing Archaix research. There will never be enough of you. Yeah, you can all monetize, throw in your own stuff with it. And once you have that certificate and that coin, you're going to be listed on Archaix.com as being an Archaix alumni. Once you're Archaix alumni, you can push Archaix, do whatever. We'll even work out merchandise deals with you and all that. So trying to spread the word. We're trying to spread the word. It's all. It's what we're doing. So it is 6:30. Mr. C, thank you for being there. I saw Allie and Kevin Moss and Freebreaker and Otto Chenault. You guys, I appreciate you being there all the time. There's Allie Wilkins right there. She's still in here. Justin's avatar. Yeah, Justin, I'm gonna end up sending you a bunch of clothes, man, and some money, man, to go take that stuff and just get all that stuff in Vegas ready. I might even rent a closet if you rent me one. There's Lacey D. What is that? Lacey, you changed your name to Lacey D 138? Oh, that's not what it used to be. Nancy, there's Nanny Puffins. Are you still in Vegas, Nanny? Nanny Puffins, man. Walk up on me in a restaurant at the Venetian. That girl called everybody. Justin did the same thing. But Justin didn't call anybody. He just knew where all the major sports books were, and he found me. Nanny Puffins, yeah, she called she called everybody she knew in Vegas trying to find us, and she found us too in a restaurant. That girl's resourceful. Pamela Swan, I heard your rumor you were in Texas. All right, Nancy Neal, Fearless Vic, Not of This World. Appreciate you guys for being here. We're gonna play that badass song again. We're gonna play that badass song that we started. I just made this morning just for this video. Digital Silver Surfer. I made this just for the Waters Above video. I'll play it later. I'll play it in the future too, but I specifically made this because it was Waters Above and his thing is crypto. Love you guys.
Waves of code so sleek through the data streams. cyber explorer, chasing truth as the world grows smaller. Every bite a tale untold, every sight a treasure bold. Through the loops my mind's enrolled, a future framed in silver and gold.